Show.com. Trucker Buddy International provides driver and teacher support and helps young students excel in school by putting a face behind the steering wheel of trucks rolling down the highway. By providing for their drivers and teachers and school children through donations, they offer classrooms a chance to stay strong during these difficult times. Money raised goes towards Trucker Buddy initiatives, school supplies, meals for students, classroom technology, and much more. Both teachers and drivers can register or renew online or by phone to be and etc. I say that to say that we are our own solution. Our solution is everyday challenges of disinvestment, of poverty, of violence, and etc. I say that to say that we are our own solution. Our solution.
Chicago and the killing of a 13-year-old, Adam Toledo. A warning first, this is an especially difficult subject. Our NDK has the story.
It's hard to watch the final moments of a 13-year-old boy's life. The Chicago police officer's body cam appears to show the teenage boy with what police say is a gun in his right hand, turning toward the officer. In less than a second, he's fatally shot. A single bullet to the chest from the officer's gun. It happened on March 29th. Chicago police say officers were responding to a shots fired call on the city's west side when they say they came upon 13-year-old Adam Toledo and a 21-year-old man walking down an alley. The officer's body cam footage shows Toledo fleeing and the officer pursuing the teenager on foot, yelling at him to stop.
Please stop! Stop! Hey, show me your head, stop!
What happened next is still under investigation, but police say the body cam video shows Toledo with a gun in his right hand as the officer once again yells for him to stop. As the boy turns around, the officer opens fire.
I've seen no evidence whatsoever that Adam Toledo shot at the police.
Police later tweeted out this picture of a gun they say was recovered from the scene, and prosecutors say Toledo's right hand tested positive for gunshot residue. But the family's attorney insisting the boy was not holding a gun when he was shot.
Adam, during his last second of life, did not have a gun in his hand. The officer screamed at him, "Show me your hands." Adam complied, turned around. His hands were empty when he was shot in the chest at the hands of the officer.
She later suggested Adam Toledo may have had a gun at some point, but tossed it. On the video, the unnamed officer who shot the boy immediately calls for an ambulance and tries to render aid. Police say 21-year-old Ruben Roman was with the teenager and is in custody. The charges against him include felony reckless discharge of a firearm and felony endangerment of a child. Adam Toledo's family first saw the body cam video of the shooting on Tuesday. The boy's mother sobbing as she questioned why anyone would kill her baby. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot also saw the video before it was released.
It was excruciating. Watching the body cam footage, which shows young Adam
shaking our heads saying, what in the world is going on? I mean, this is not just negligence. This is on purpose.
Yes.
They knew.
Right.
The media knew how horrible it was and what he did.
Yep.
Not only did they hit it, but they praised him as some type of COVID deity.
Yes. He was going to be the step-in guy if Biden couldn't finish the race.
Right. Unbelievable.
This hour's news is brought to you by Travel Centers of America, home of world's best coffee, the freshest roast on the road.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.
Red Eye Radio is available on command through your Amazon Echo device. Catch us live or listen to the rebroadcast. Just say, Alexa, open Red Eye Radio.
You didn't become a trucker for the accolades. You did it because you loved the open road. The long stretches of scenic highway are a reward in themselves. The beautiful mountain passes, boundless deserts, and cityscapes on the horizon that creep up and become bustling metropolises help make it all worth it. And as the wheels keep on turning, you keep on earning. That's why we've designed Shell Rotella synthetic engine oils. They provide longer drain intervals compared to conventional engine oils to keep you on the road longer, protect your engine against wear, deposits, oil breakdown, and the tough temperatures you may encounter along the way. Shell Rotella synthetic engine oils keep your truck running smoothly wherever the journey takes you. So at your next oil change, ask for Shell Rotella synthetic engine oil and get back on the open road. Shell Rotella, the engine oil that works as hard as you.
If you're a trucking industry professional, then you need to stay on top of changing regulations, equipment upgrades, and technology advancements. Fleet Owner Magazine gives you all of this and more. Written for fleet executives and managers, Fleet Owner gives you the business intelligence on operations, vehicle maintenance, regulations, and information technology you need to stay ahead. But that's not all. With its monthly print publication, daily and weekly email newsletters, and a website updated several times a day, Fleet Owner has all the latest news and information delivered to you when you want it and where you want it. From industry experts to award-winning writers and columnists, Fleet Owner is the #1 source for trucking information in North America. Remember to visit fleetowner.com every day for the latest industry news. You can also sign up to receive Newsline, their free email newsletter, and subscribe to Fleet Owner Magazine. Visit fleetowner.com. Fleet Owner, for news you can use.
One of the St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund missions is to provide valuable health and wellness programs that support professional drivers in getting and staying healthy, and to hopefully prevent some medical illnesses. St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund health and wellness programs include Driving Down Diabetes, a diabetes prevention program, Rigs Without Cigs, a smoking cessation program, Driven to Be Healthy, a yearly health challenge, and a vaccine voucher program that includes free flu, shingles, and pneumonia vaccines. These programs are available to all current over-the-road truck drivers with a valid Class A CDL. For more information or to register for a program, visit the St. Christopher Truckers Relief Fund website at truckersfund.org and check out all the preventive health programs located under the Health and Wellness tab. These programs are made possible and sponsored by Southern Recipe, the Road Pro family of brands, and OOIDA. Go to truckersfund.org today. That's truckersfund.org.
News Radio 1440 WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 Montgomery, a Cumulus station. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Dell Small Business.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Another mass shooting in America, this time at a FedEx warehouse near the airport in Indianapolis. Police spokeswoman Janae Cook.
After a preliminary search of the grounds, inside and out, we have located 8 people at the scene with injuries consistent to gunshot wounds.
Police say the gunman killed himself. The wait has been excruciating for loved ones. WTTV's Darius Johnson is at the local Holiday Inn Express.
Family and friends began to rush to this hotel, hopping right out of bed with whatever they had on after that shooting happened. Police say that this is where the workers would be bussed and reunited with family members and friends once they would be released from the facility. Inside, FedEx staffers have laptops and they are confirming who has been accounted for.
It's not clear if the gunman was a FedEx employee. Protests outside police headquarters in Chicago over body cam video showing an officer shooting a boy last month.
Chicago police officers respond to a call of shots fired, and when they encountered 13-year-old Adam Toledo and a 21-year-old man, police say the two ran. The older man was tackled and taken into custody. Police say Toledo had a gun. The 7th grader was shot in the chest.
Shot fired, shot fired. Yeah, ambulance up here now.
The teenager died. In police body cam video, his hands appear to be empty. Toledo family lawyer Adina Wise-Ortiz.
Adam complied with the officer's request, dropped the gun, turned around. The officer saw his hands were up and pulled the trigger.
Chicago's mayor calls the video excruciating. Jennifer Kuiper, CBS News, Chicago.
Families hanging on to hope as divers search for possible survivors in the hull of a lift boat that capsized in hurricane-force winds off Louisiana 4 days ago. Marion Kyler's fiance is among the 12 still missing.
I am angry that that boat went out, and I asked who gave the order, and of course, silence. I told them, you shouldn't be going out.
At least one person died, 6 were rescued. Despite a new spring wave of COVID infections and hospitalizations, one state is lifting its mask mandate today. WBZ TV's Christina Hager.
New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu says the time has come. No more government-imposed mask wearing.
New Hampshire will not renew the state's mask mandate.
In Hampton Beach,
I think it's about time. It's been a long year.
Here, people without masks do not stand out as unusual, and businesses say the mandate hurt them.
Prince Philip always walked 2 paces behind Queen Elizabeth in public. Royal protocol will continue in death. He'll be buried in a vault at St. George's Chapel tomorrow. After the Queen dies, he'll be disinterred and buried in a vault next to her. This is CBS News.
Dell Technologies advisors listen to your small business needs so they can provide you with tailored solutions powered by Intel vPro platform. Call today, 877-ASK-DELL.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
A milestone in Washington, D.C.
100 days since an angry mob stormed the Capitol. 100 days since a man with his face painted red, white, and blue stood in the House of Representatives in a furry horned hat and screamed. 100 days since the throngs of rioters walked through the halls of the Capitol searching for lawmakers. And in these 100 days, over 410 people have been arrested in at least 45 states as the investigation continues. Stacey Lynn, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Former Vice President Pence is recovering from surgery to insert a pacemaker. His office says Mr. Pence had been diagnosed with a slow heart rate and had the device inserted at a hospital in Falls Church, Virginia. He's released a statement thanking his doctors at Inova Fairfax Medical Campus. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
This line consists of 6 selections, including power and manual sofas, plus seats, sectionals, and recliners.
Quality is key here in American Automotive. We design these selection with solid wood frame and high density foam.
Last but not least, whether they're covered in microfiber or leather, they all come with a 5-year warranty.
Stop by and see mattresses for $399 and up to $1,000 off qualifying Jackson says. Save on Alabama-made bunk beds for $299. Hurry, these deals won't last long. Don't count sheep, get a great night's sleep from What Boys Bedding next week.
They are the two sexiest men alive. Ready, fine. And you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
Depend on it.
Your WSFA First Alert Weather Forecast on News Radio 1440.
Mainly cloudy Friday on the way, certainly a little below average as well. High temperatures in the low 70s. Some of us may get stuck in the upper 60s. A slight chance of a couple of light passing showers, but I would not worry about having rain gear with you. Would not worry about seeing much in the way of rain activity. Some showers possible tonight into Saturday, but again, I don't expect a whole lot of rain, but some rain possible throughout the day, Saturday and Saturday night. Drier beginning on Sunday.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good. Your Friday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Albany, and Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from the Selma area, and 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Still carrying light traffic. You keep listening, we'll keep you posted. 567-9000, that's the number to call. MCS, to refinance your home mortgage, get cash out, or get pre-approved to buy. MCS in Wetumpka, just a call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch Traffic, this is Major Delay.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Police in Indianapolis say 8 people were shot and killed in a shooting late Thursday at a FedEx facility. A police spokesperson also says at least 4 people were hospitalized, including 1 person with critical injuries. 2 others were treated at the scene and released. Authorities say the shooter also shot and killed himself. Health officials testified on Capitol Hill Thursday, a day after an advisory panel asked to continue a pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Concern, a rare blood clot. 6 cases reported out of more than 7 million doses administered. It will be at least a week before a panel of experts advising the CDC decides if it's safe to start giving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine again. And in sports news, the Magic City Classic is this weekend, delayed from the fall due to the pandemic. Tickets are limited and there is no tailgating. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at Birmingham Legion Field. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
Now's your chance to freshen up your home for the new year with Graver's Smart Savings event at Just Blinds in Prattville. Right now, you can get a free cordless lift upgrade on gorgeous Graver shades, cellular, pleated, natural, roller, or solar. Plus, Fresco Roman and selected styles of Graver fabric shades, Smart Style, Smart Savings, available now at Just Blinds. Just Blinds, serving all of Central Alabama. Stop by their showroom in Prattville today, or visit them online at gojustblinds.com.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax? I like it too.
Trump is right. Millions are tuning into Newsmax TV and going to Newsmax.com for real news. Some polls give Joe Biden a high job approval, even 60%. Now, Newsmax is asking if you agree with that. Do you really approve of Joe Biden, his policies, and $4 trillion in spending? And do you think President Trump did a better job? Let us know. Vote in the Newsmax poll right now. Just text the word PRIME to 39747. That's PRIME to 39747. It takes just a minute. Let America know who you like better, Biden or Trump. Tens of millions are watching Newsmax TV now on all major smart TV and OTT platforms. And vote now in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word PRIME to 39747. That's PRIME to 39747. Let your voice be heard and watch Newsmax.
Hey, y'all, Lewis at the Capitol Orchard. All y'all were right down here on that beautiful Alabama River, cooking up fresh seafood from the Gulf, renting out pontoon boats. We got an RV park down here. He's having a good time, and I want to tell you about a good time. So this Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock, John Nemeth is in town. That's right, one of our favorites out of Memphis with his killer band. Sunday afternoon at 5 o'clock, John Nemeth and the Blue Dreamers. Check it out at CapitolOrchardBar.com. Go to the Facebook page and see everything you need to know. Got a map how to get here and all the good food down here soon.
InfoByGovMint.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1879 $10 Gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1879p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 30 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Just call government.com at 1-800-222-0984, and you are guaranteed a mint condition 1879 $10 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These 1879 gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 142 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-222-0984. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package, a $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-222-0984 now to secure your 1879p Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-222-0984.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
All righty. And good morning, Montgomery, Alabama. It is time to rise and shine once again, if you can. I'm Kevin Elkins, and this is News Radio. Right now, it's time for our Daily Bread, a moment of reflection and inner thought. And maybe you'll hear something this morning that will change the way you think about things in a good way. All right? It's time for our Daily Bread, and it is brought to you by none other than Alabama Home Mortgage, because there is a difference in mortgage companies. Call them. They'll tell you that. 567-4223. We'll be back after a word from our sponsor, and then it is time for our Daily Bread. Today's Daily Bread is simply entitled Extending Mercy. It is April the 16th. 2021 AD.
Hey there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. Unless you've been living under a rock, then you know that mortgage rates are low. But did you know that mortgage rates have fallen to their lowest level since 1971? That's 50 years ago. So there's no wonder why you are getting bombarded with mortgage offers. Churchill said it best: a good speech should be like a woman's skirt, long enough to cover the subject and short enough to create interest. That's exactly what other mortgage companies do. They advertise a rate, a teaser, if you will. The advertised rate piques your interest, so you give them a call. You ask questions, only to find the advertised rate is not available to you, or there's a hefty cost for you to get that rate. Unfortunately, this is very common in the mortgage industry. When calling on Alabama Home Mortgage, you don't have to hope you're getting the best rate. You will know you're getting the best rate at the lowest cost to you. Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
Sometimes you need to reset, refocus on your day. The moment where you take a deep breath and change the focus from the problem to the problem solver. This is Decisions with Kevin Elkins.
It is time to rise and shine once again. Good morning to you. I'm Kevin Elkins. It's time for our Daily Bread. Our Daily Bread today is Extending Mercy. Our scripture insight comes from Luke 17:1-5. If your brother or sister sins against you, rebuke them. And if they repent, forgive them. That is Luke 17:3. Again, it is April the 16th, 2021 AD. It is a special day today because this day has never been. And I guarantee it, this day won't ever come again. So whatever it is you do this day, make sure that if tomorrow should be, you'll be proud of what you have done this day. Like I say every morning, if you've lived a while, you have no doubt seen some yesterdays. And if we are blessed and given the grace of God, like I tell you every morning, because each day is a present, if we're blessed and given the grace of God and a lot of mercy thrown in, we may, I'm not sure, but we may see some tomorrows. But if tomorrow should never be, then it is this day that is the first day of the rest of your life. What are you going to do with it? Well, whatever you do, reach back and give somebody else a helping hand. Benjamin Elijah Mays once said, and many others, that whatever you do in life, you should try to do it so well that no man living, no man dead, and no man yet to be born can do it any better. And I say, if that is the standard by which you live your life, you shall always be successful, because you are never a failure, never, until you quit. We say, give out if you must, rest only if you can, but you never, ever, ever quit, because winners don't quit, and quitters never win. My mother used to say, there's nothing that beats a failure but a try. So keep putting one foot in front of the other. And for the mountains in your life, try to go around them. Sometimes it's difficult. Try to go over it. Sometimes that's difficult. Try to go below it, and sometimes that's difficult. If you can't get over it, you can't get around it, and you can't go under it, go through it. But you never quit. You never, ever, ever give up. Because again, quitters don't win. And winners, oh, they may fail at a thing or two, but they never, ever, ever quit. Like Mom said, there's nothing that beats a failure but a try. Keep putting one foot in front of the other. And every once in a while, don't forget, you can ask for some help. There's always a listening ear. But sometimes you got to get down on bended knee and ask. But whatever you do, you never give up. It is April the 16th, 2021 AD. And whatever happens this day, remember, this day, like the days of old, it's still a great day to be alive. Good morning to you, Montgomery. It's time to rise and shine. 6:18 on the dot.
Welcome to another daily encouragement from the Our Daily Bread devotional. Today's reading, titled Extending Mercy, was written by Amy Boucher Pye. Reflecting on how she forgave Manasseh, the man who killed her husband and some of her children in the Rwandan genocide, Beata said, "My forgiving is based on what Jesus did. He took the punishment for every evil act throughout all time. His cross is the place we find victory, the only place." Manasseh had written to Beata from prison more than once, begging her and God for forgiveness as he detailed the regular nightmares that plagued him. At first, she could extend no mercy, saying she hated him for killing her family. But then, Jesus intruded into her thoughts. And with God's help, some 2 years later, she forgave him. In this, Beata followed Jesus' instruction to his disciples to forgive those who repent. He said in Luke chapter 17 that even if they sin against you 7 times in a day and 7 times come back to you saying, "I repent," you must forgive them. But to forgive can be extremely difficult, as we see by the disciples' reaction. Increase our faith. Beata's faith increased as she wrestled in prayer over her inability to forgive. If, like her, we're struggling to forgive, we can ask God through his Holy Spirit to help us to do so. As our faith increases, he helps us to forgive. Today's Our Daily Bread devotional scripture reading is from Luke chapter 17, verses 1 through 5. Jesus said to his disciples, "Things that cause people to stumble are bound to come, but woe to anyone through whom they come. It would be better for them to be thrown into the sea with a millstone tied around their neck than to cause one of these little ones to stumble. So watch yourselves. If your brother or sister sins against you, rebuke them. And if they repent, forgive them. Even if they sin against you 7 times in a day and 7 times come back to you saying, I repent, you must forgive them. The apostles said to the Lord, increase our faith. Let's pray. Jesus, we know that the consequences of sin is both spiritual and physical death. Thank you, Jesus, for releasing us from the consequences of our sins through your death on the cross, death on our behalf. Help us to live our lives with the same kind of love and forgiveness that you extend to us. We love you, Lord. It's in your merciful name that we pray. Amen. Today's encouragement was provided by Our Daily Bread Ministries.
Well, it's a Friday. Thank God it's Friday. But don't forget to think of for the rest of the days also. It's time to rise and shine, Montgomery, Alabama. It is another day. It's a great day to be alive. So now we, after this, the guy in that background, gets them blowing that thing. We pay homage to all of our armed forces of the United States of America. The Navy, the Army, the Air Force, the Marines, and the Coast Guard. But we add a little something to that. The Montgomery Police Department, the Fire Department, ambulance drivers. Hey, all those people who go in when everybody else is running out. Good morning to you. Don't forget anybody. Oh, the sheriff. Can't forget the high sheriff now. Good morning to all the deputies and all the guys who patrol the streets at night in the morning. You got a tough job. I wouldn't want it. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine. Well, one thing about listening to these songs every morning, the Ruskies or the Chinese hadn't taken us over yet. They may have bought us out, though. I don't know. And good morning, Jarheads. I know it's a difficult time for you sometimes. Getting up, I got it. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. Semper Fi, Marine, Semper Fi. Anybody want to hear that story again about what happened to me in the Marine Corps? Anybody want to know that? Well, if you do, you just let me know because I don't mind telling it. Okay, I'm wide awake now. I'm wide awake. Went and took my COVID shot yesterday. You know, now this has got to be the craziest side effect. Okay, craziest side effect. Okay, I'm just telling you, I got a side effect that nobody else has ever gotten. Okay, in this thing, I'm just telling you, but I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I tell you about it. I tell you about it I mean, I'm laughing about it, so it's not that big a deal, but it's an unusual one. You know what I mean? Oh, a change gonna come. Tell them that. Oh, yes, it will. Oh. Oh, hard. Say that. Say that. But I'm afraid to die. How come? How come? I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. Tell him now. It's been a long, long time. Oh, yeah. But I know. Oh, yes, it will. Oh, yeah. Woo! I'm just waiting for American Got Talent to get to my gun. I'll tell you, then I'm going over there and sing this song for them. Anyway, good morning to you. It's time to rise and shine if you're up. Now, now it's Friday, right? I like Friday. I like all the days, to tell you the truth. I don't have a particular day I like, but Friday's pretty good because, you get a couple of days off to rejuvenate and rethink about life and hope you got a job on Monday. That's the way life is today. But I like Friday. So it gives me a time to reflect. And again, I went out to VA yesterday. Now I have to tell you something. I normally don't like dealing with the government. Okay, especially military. I don't like doing it because a lot of times they got a bunch of dumb rules that I don't cotton to, and most of the time it looks like ordered chaos. But I have to tell you something. Listen. Y'all can say what y'all want to say about the VA, but I'm telling you, I was out there yesterday and it was a well-oiled machine they got going out there. They got it going on out there. They got a system where they get you in and get you out. They even got a little observation time included in the service out there. So veterans. I'm telling you, it took me a minute to go out there because I said, well, okay, I don't want to go out there. But I was happy I did. And the people out there, I had an RN out there that took care of a brother. And they are just, it was really, actually, it was kind of pleasant to tell you the truth. Now, I did get a weird side effect. of it. But it didn't happen until later on. Okay. But I'll have to tell you about it. I'll tell you about what happened. About my little unusual side effect of the COVID thing, but that was it. That was it. Matter of fact, when the lady stuck me with the needle thing, I didn't even know I'd been stuck. That's damn. That kind of reminds me when I joined the Army and the guy, I guess he was a proctologist or something. He said, "I'm done." I said, "How you be done? You ain't did nothing yet." He said, "I already been up in there." I said, "Really?" Whoa, what's up with that? Whatever you using, don't put it near me no other time. I'm just, so like the shot, I didn't know the lady did it already. I'm sitting there waiting, just waiting for the shot, baby. I'm waiting for it. Okay. And she said, "You can get up now." I said, "What? What? Get up now? But you gonna give me the shot?" She had already gave me the shot, washed her hand, put the needle back in the thing, and could always close my eyes. Always close my eyes. I don't want to see it coming. Okay, if I get hit by it, that's cool, but I don't want to see it coming. So I always close my eyes when I get shot. Okay, not with a gun, but with a shot. With a hypodermic needle, whatever that thing they call it. I always close my eyes because okay. Well, I'll tell you why later on. Anyway, I gotta take a break, and we'll be back I do have a presentation. I'm gonna play this same presentation. I played this thing a couple weeks ago. I'm just telling you, it has affected me tremendously in my perspective on life. Okay. Okay, I'm just telling you, and I think everybody needs to listen. Matter of fact, Mr. Ed said I need to play this every day. He's probably right, but can't do it every day. But I could get away with it a couple times a month. Anyway, let's take a break. It is 6:31 in the morning, and we'll be back.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by JannyKingCleans.com.
For a clean, healthy building, trust the company that has disinfected over 75 million square feet of offices in the last year alone. Janny King, the king of clean. Check out JannyKingCleans.com now.
Janny King, the king of clean.
Mainly cloudy Friday on the way, certainly a little below average as well. High temperatures in the low 70s. Some of us may get stuck in the upper 60s. A slight chance of a couple of light passing showers, but I would not worry about having a rain gear with you, would not worry about seeing much of any rain activity. Some showers possible tonight into Saturday, but again, I don't expect a whole lot of rain, but some rain possible throughout the day, Saturday and Saturday night, drier beginning on Sunday. That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Right now, we're looking good. Your Friday kicks off with no major problems or accidents. Interstate systems moving into the Tri-County area from Clanton, Auburn, and Greenville. No problems on Highway 80 or 14 coming in from the Selma area, and 231 south out of Wetumpka, north out of Troy. Still carrying light traffic. You keep listening, we'll keep you posted. 567-9000, that's the number to call. MCS to refinance your home mortgage, get cash out, or get pre-approved to buy. MCS in Wetumpka, just a call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
That big trip will be here before you know it. But without a working transmission, you aren't going anywhere. Head to the #1 transmission shop in Alabama, Allen Robbins Transmission. Allen Robbins staff can fix any problems you may have. They also service clutches, differentials, and transfer cases. These uncertain times have some concern, but Allen Robbins is prepared. They're still open and have taken all necessary precautions to keep customers and employees safe and healthy. Allen Robbins Transmission in Prattville. Call 365-3352.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1879 $10 gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1879p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 30 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Just call government.com at 1-800-222-0984. And you are guaranteed a mint condition 1879 $10 gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These 1879 gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 142 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-222-0984. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package of $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-222-0984 now to secure your 1879p Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-222-0984.
Sam, put your shoes on. We're headed to the doctor in 10 minutes.
Okay, Mom. Hey, am I going to have to get a shot?
Yes, it's time for your yearly vaccines. We have to make sure all your vaccines are up to date before you start back to school. I have to provide a record to the school.
Alabama law requires children of all ages to be up to date on their immunizations before attending school. Every child needs to be vaccinated against polio, diphtheria, tetanus, pertussis, also known as whooping cough, measles, mumps, rubella, and chickenpox.
My name is Dale Pazinski, and this is how I live United. I volunteer with United Way, helping the homeless in my community by teaching computer skills and helping them build a basic resume to save on their very own USB drive. It's huge when somebody says, "Hey man, that job that you helped me apply for, I got it." My name is Dale Pazinski. I help people achieve financial independence. So I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
My wife and I enjoyed a wonderful dinner last week with friends we hadn't seen in a long time. The next day, we received a handwritten note which they delivered to our mailbox, letting us know how much they had enjoyed our dinner together, along with an article that we had discussed. You know, in today's high-tech, low-touch world, it's refreshing to get a thoughtful handwritten note once in a while. It's enough to inspire me to get started. To learn more, check us out at thekindnessrevolution.net.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
And we are back. Good morning, everybody. Listen, I got to play this thing. I got so many things to talk about today I don't even know where to begin some of this stuff. There's some issues with our school board and them selecting people to build things and stuff like that. But I'll get to that one later on. See, you never know who's sitting by you at a restaurant. So you never know. You don't know I'm there. See, 'cause I'm unassuming. And I hear things. You know what I'm saying? I hear things. And I'm a little concerned about some of the things I've accidentally heard yesterday. Okay? Because I'm sitting there eating my little dinner, you know, and I got my ears open, you know. I just sit around and say, if people know who you are, they won't say anything, right? So they were talking big time yesterday. Big time. I even heard the mayor's name come up. Not this mayor. Well, actually, I heard both mayors, the former mayor and the current mayor name come up in a conversation yesterday. And, you know, in the Army, we had this thing, or in the Navy, we had loose lips sink ships. Okay? Now, it's a good thing that I'm not the enemy, because I'm an observation post. Okay? I just look out and see what's going on out there. So yesterday, what I'm saying, okay, I'll get to that later. I'll get to that later on. I'll get to that later on. Anyway, so let me let you guys listen to this thing. It's about being kind, and there have been very few things that have affected me in a way that changed my whole perspective on life until I listened to this. And I think it'll do the same for you if you listen to it. Okay, so I'll be right back.
That wonderful concept, that vital virtue that unfortunately and regrettably is often forgotten, the virtue of kindness, being kind. I want you to hear a story. 20 years ago, I drove a cab for a living. When I arrived at 2:30 in the morning, the building was dark except for a single light in a ground floor window. Under these circumstances, many cab drivers would just honk once or twice, wait a minute, then drive away. But I had seen too many impoverished people who depended on taxis as their only means of transportation to drive away. Unless the situation smelled of danger, I always went to the door. So I walked to the door and knocked. Just a moment, answered a frail, elderly voice. After a long pause, the door opened. A small woman in her 80s stood before me. By her side was a small nylon suitcase. Would you carry this bag out to the car for me? She said. I took the suitcase out and returned to assist the woman. She took my arm and walked slowly toward the curb. She kept thanking me for my kindness. It's nothing, I told her. I just try to treat all my passengers the way I would want my mother treated. When we got in the cab, she gave me an address. Then she said, oh, by the way, could you drive through downtown? It's not the shortest way. Oh, I don't mind. I'm in no hurry. I'm on my way to a hospice. I looked in the rearview mirror and her eyes were glistening. I don't have any family left, she said, almost to herself. The doctor says I don't have very long. I quietly reached over and shut off the meter. What route would you like me to take? For the next 2 hours, we drove all around the city. She showed me the building where she had once worked as an elevator operator. We drove through the neighborhood where she and her husband had lived when they were newlyweds. She had me pull up in front of a furniture warehouse that had once been a ballroom where she had gone dancing as a girl. Sometimes she'd ask me to slow down in front of a particular building or corner. She would sit staring into the darkness, saying nothing. As the first hint of sun was creasing the horizon, she suddenly said, "Okay, I'm ready. Let's go now." We drove in silence to the address she had given me. It was a low building. 2 orderlies came out to the cab. As soon as we pulled up, they were solicitous and intent, watching her every move. They were expecting her. I opened the trunk, took out the small suitcase, carried it to the door. The woman was already seated in a wheelchair. "How much do I owe you?" she asked. "No, you don't owe me anything," I said. "Oh, you have to make a living," she answered. "Oh, there are other passengers," I responded. Almost without thinking, I bent over and gave her a hug. She held on to me tightly. "You gave an old woman a little bit of joy," she said. "Thank you." I squeezed her hand, then walked into the dim morning light. Behind me, a door shut. It was the sound of the closing of a life. I drove aimlessly, lost in thought for the rest of the day. I could hardly talk. What if that woman had gotten in an angry driver earlier that morning, or one who was impatient? What if I had refused to take the run, or had honked once and driven away? On a quick review, I don't think I have done anything more important in all my life. I love that story. Sort of helps me allow life to make up its mind again. You need to remember that story. The times you will want to be anything but kind. Because it is so much easier to bear a grudge and hate in return, or get back, or get even. Hate destroys the vessel it's kept in. Revenge never healed a wound. There's one thing all of us have in common: we've been mistreated by somebody. Some of you have known abuse, misunderstanding, and all of this has a way of siphoning your tank of kindness. It can make you hard. You can get on with hard. You can get along with it. In fact, some will even respect you more because you're tough. But I urge you not to be. Be kind, tenderhearted, forgiving one another. When I'm truly free of revenge and bitterness, there is plenty of room in my heart left for kindness. And not until. Do what's right. Do justice. Love kindness. Walk humbly with your God.
Maybe you were born a really nice person with a gentle, sweet personality, and being kind to people comes pretty naturally to you, but I think more of the globe is not that way than is. And the good news is we can change.
It's amazing what one kind word can do. We don't think anything about it, but to the other person, it breathes life into their spirit. Our words have the power to lift people, to help them get through a challenge, to push them into their destinies. When you tell someone, "I love you, I'm proud of you, you did great on that project," you're not just being kind, Those are healing words. We don't know what people are going through. They may smile on the outside, but on the inside, they're hurting, they're lonely, they're discouraged. Many people have wounds from the past, wounds from a relationship that didn't work out, wounds from people trying to push them down. Just a simple word of encouragement. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. A simple compliment. You look beautiful today. It's no big deal to you, but to them, it's helping heal the wounds. It's lifting their spirits. It's causing them to believe in themselves. Your words can be what keeps them moving forward. And God puts people in our lives on purpose so we can bring healing. Letting people know that you care does more than you imagine. You have the power to put someone on their feet. You have the power to keep them from falling into depression. You have the power to cause them to pursue their dreams. Be free with your compliments. You can think well of your friend all day long, but if you never tell them, they'll never know. God wouldn't have brought it up if he didn't want you to tell them. He wouldn't have put that thought in you if the other person didn't need it. You may not know them. It may not make sense to you, but God knows what he's doing. There's a reason they need your healing. Don't withhold it. Don't try to reason it out. In my early 20s, a young man started coming up to the gym to play basketball with us. He was a loner. He was very unfriendly, very cold. He never talked. Even during the games, he wouldn't interact with us. Most of the guys just ignored him. Something down in here told me to reach out to him and make him feel welcome. I found out that his name was Bo. When he would come into the gym, I would go over and say, "Hey, Bo, it's great to see you today." He never said anything. He just hit his chest twice and walked away. I didn't know what that meant, but I hit my chest twice and walked away. This went on for several years. I saw him 4 or 5 times a week. Well, I stopped playing basketball there, and I hadn't seen Bo in over 20 years. One Sunday, he showed up at church. I saw him afterwards. I thought, where do I know this guy from? He said, "I'm Bo. We used to play basketball together." That's the most I'd ever heard him talk. He went on to tell how he grew up in the projects. At 14, he started living on his own. Nobody wanted him. He never felt loved or accepted. He said, "One of the main reasons I went up to the gym was to hear you say, 'Great to see you today,' because nobody had told me that they were glad to see me." Those simple words, letting him know that I cared, were like life-giving water. Today, Bo is married. He introduced me to his children. He's setting a new standard for his family. What am I saying? Nobody is in your life by accident. Don't ignore what you feel on the inside. That compassion to encourage them, that desire to be their friend. Take time to make them feel loved. Doesn't have to be something big. Just good to see you. I believe in you. I'm praying for you. Just let them know that you care.
Anyway, I found that I love that. I love that speech. It is a it is a refresher in the way it reminds us of the way we ought to be. Now, a lot of us have a hard time getting there. I got myself too. I know. See, I've even had to rethink my position on panhandling. I still don't think that it's right to sit there and beg for money when you probably don't need it that much. But I'll be nicer to them. I won't be, Yeah, you notice I haven't really been getting on that subject because, I mean, you never know where you might find yourself. Okay, you never know. Okay, you never know. Anyway, good morning to you. It is 6:50 in the morning. It is 10 minutes till the hour of 7 o'clock. I'm Kevin Elkins, and I got to tell you about my weird side effect from taking the COVID shot yesterday. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about it as soon as I get a chance to here. Okay, I just want to let you know. But it is now. Tell you some things that happened on this day. First of all, the lessons of life. Now you'll find this one interesting because I think we all have had some experience in this. But I have found it easy to give advice. But what I find difficult at times is people who give advice to others often have a hard time following the advice that they give. You ever notice that? I mean, people tell you how to keep your money, but they're always trying to borrow money from you. You know? So I don't know how a financial guy that's broke can give you advice, or maybe he can give great advice, but if you don't follow your own advice, what good is it? Anyway, so that lesson of life today is make sure that people who give you advice live by their own advice. Now, today's word of the day, I brought this word to Montgomery, Alabama, because before I got here, nobody used it, okay? Because I'm a wordsmith. I'm a master at the English terminology, the English lexicon. So this word means to meditate deeply or intently. I know you guys know what the word is because I use it all the time, okay? I'm the only person in town that uses this word. Nobody else uses this word but me, okay? What word? You know the word. Come on. Somebody know what the word is, okay? It means to meditate very, very deeply and intensely, okay? Now, everybody knows what that word is, okay? Okay, yeah, I know you know what the word is because I know the guy in town that uses this word. No, I've never heard anybody use this word before I used it. Okay, it's an interesting word, and it fits me to a T. Okay, what is the word? Cogitate. 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 It means to meditate deeply or intently. So when you hear me say I will cogitate on it, that means that I am going to severely look into the issue. Okay, I am going to take it apart, look at the screws, put it back together, and take it apart again until I figure it out. Okay, because that's how intently that I will be looking at that word, that situation. Okay, so that is cogitate. It is April the 16th. It is the 106th day of the year, and believe it or not, there are only 259 days left in the year 2021. On April 16, 2007, one of America's worst school attacks, a college senior killed 32 people at the campus of Virginia Tech before taking his own life. At least he did the right thing there. 1789, President-elect George Washington left Mount Vernon, Virginia, for his inauguration in New York. In 1789, President-elect George Washington left Mount Vernon. That's what I just said. Okay. In 1862, let me make this a little bit bigger so I can read all this stuff. Sometimes my mind ain't what it used to be. Okay, there we go. In 1862, during the Civil War, President Abraham Lincoln signed a bill ending slavery in the District of Columbia. The Confederacy conscripted all white men between the ages of 18 and 35. In 1889, comedian and movie director Charles Chaplin was born in London. Also, in 1945, during World War II, a Soviet submarine in the Baltic Sea torpedoed and sank MV Goya, which Germany was using to transport civilian refugees and wounded soldiers. It is estimated that up to 7,000 people died. 1947, the cargo ship Grand Camp, carrying ammunition, ammonium nitrate, blew up the harbor in Texas City, Texas. A nearby ship, the High Flyer, which was carrying ammonium nitrate and sulfur, caught on fire and exploded the following day. The blast and fires killed nearly 600 people at South Carolina State House. Financier Bernard M. Baruch declared, "Let us not be deceived. We are today in the midst of a Cold War." Never heard of it, brother, but that's some good words. 1962, New Orleans Archbishop Joseph Rommel excommunicated 3 local Roman Catholics for fighting racial integration in our schools. Okay. 1963, on this day, Martin Luther King Jr. wrote his letter from the Birmingham jail, in which the civil rights activist responded to a group of local clergy who had criticized him for leading street protests. King defended his tactics, writing, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." All I can say to that is amen. 1972, Apollo 16 blasted off on a voyage to the moon, which astronauts John W. Young, Charles M. Duke Jr., and Ken Mattingly were on board. In 1986, dispelling rumors he was dead, Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi appeared on television to condemn the U.S. raids on his country and said that Libyans were ready to die defending their nation. In 1996, Britain's Prince Andrew and his wife Sarah, the Duchess of York, announced they were in the process of divorcing. Like, who really cares? 2003, the Bush administration lowered a terror alert level from orange to yellow, saying that the end of heavy fighting in Iraq had diminished the threat of terrorism in the United States. Okay. And one more. In 2008, the U.S. Supreme Court upheld in a 7-2 vote the most widely used method of lethal injection, allowing states to resume execution after a 7-month halt. Pope Benedict XIV was welcomed by President George W. Bush as only the second pontiff to visit the White House after John Paul II, and the first in 29 years. Anything else? Anything else? 5 years ago, more than 300 people, mostly students, died when South Korean ferry, the Seoul, sank while en route from Incheon to the resort island of Jeju. 172 people survived. I know where Incheon is. I was over there. Yeah. See, I did a lot of things in a short period of time. I was over there. Yeah, we had Team Spirit. No, you guys wouldn't know nothing about that. Anyway, got to get out of here this hour, but it's a great day to be alive, and I hope this day finds you well, motivated. Well, we got a lot of things to talk about today. A lot of things to talk about today. I'm on fire today. I'm going to need an extra hour. I got to go down to the corner down there and ask the boss down there, can I get at least an extra hour today? I got a lot of things to talk about. Anyway, we'll be back after these messages.
Now, your WSFA 12 news update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Police in Indianapolis say 8 people were shot and killed in a shooting late Thursday at a FedEx facility. The police spokesperson also says at least 4 people were hospitalized, including one person with critical injuries. Authorities say the shooter also shot and killed himself. Health officials testified on Capitol Hill Thursday, a day after an advisory panel asked to continue a pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Concerned a rare blood clot. 6 cases reported out of more than 7 million doses administered. It will be at least a week before a panel of experts advising the CDC decides if it's safe to start getting the Johnson & Johnson vaccine again. And in sports news, the Magic City Classic is this weekend, delayed from the fall due to the pandemic. Tickets are limited and there is no tailgating. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at Birmingham Legion Field. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440 is WLWI AM Montgomery, a Cumulus station, also heard on 95.1.
This is the CBS World News Roundup, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
They have an active shooter currently at FedEx.
Late last night, a gunman opened fire at a FedEx warehouse near the airport in Indianapolis, killing 8 people.
I hear 6 shots fired at once, at a time. Bang, 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 bang.
Jeremiah Miller says he saw a man with some kind of rifle. Deputy Police Chief Craig McCart says the shooter killed himself.
We're in the same boat kind of with him as we are with the victims because we have not finished processing the scene. We have not identified him. And obviously, until we identify him, we can't really start digging into a motive or anything like that too much.
Police say 5 people are hospitalized, 1 in critical condition. FedEx is reportedly reevaluating policy requiring employees to lock up their phones while they're working. More protests are expected today in Chicago, where people flooded the streets after police released body cam video of an officer shooting a 13-year-old to death last March.
It's got a gunshot victim. Shots fired by the police.
The footage shows Adam Toledo's arms up in the air before he falls to the ground. His family's attorney, Adina Weiss-Ortiz.
That child complied. Adam complied with the officer's request. Dropped the gun, turned around. The officer saw his hands were up and pulled the trigger.
The video shows a gun on the ground near Toledo's body. Closing arguments are scheduled to begin Monday in Derek Chauvin's murder trial. CBS's Jamie Yukas.
Minneapolis city leaders are stepping up security in preparation for the Chauvin verdict, which could come as early as next week. National Guard troops are already stationed in downtown Minneapolis, and barriers were placed near the courthouse and the streets surrounding it.
Loved ones holding out hope divers will find survivors in the hull of a ship that capsized off the coast of Louisiana Tuesday. Marion Kyler's fiance is among the 8 crew members missing.
This one squall that came through, I think the Coast Guard said it went from 10 to 20 knots to 50 to 80 knots in a matter of a minute.
The captain of the Sea Corps Power was killed, 6 others rescued. CBS News has learned divers hope to penetrate the hull of the boat today. There's always been a wait for a ride at Disney, but making reservations could mean you wait online all day. Here's CBS's Jennifer Brown.
To get into Disneyland, it's now a 2-step process. After buying tickets, you have to make park reservations. The new procedure started this week. Already, fans on Twitter report wait times from 8 to 12 hours.
For service, push the red button.
Your advice, don't push any buttons, don't close your tab or open a new one. One fan says Disney is her happy place and worth the wait.
S&P futures are up 5. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
The IRS doesn't mess around. If they want your money, they'll take it. They can take your paycheck and bank accounts too, even threaten your home or business. Don't take on the IRS alone. If you owe back taxes, the smartest thing you can do is call Optima Tax Relief. The experts at Optima specialize in a powerful IRS tax assistance program called the Fresh Start Initiative. And their clients that qualify are saving thousands, even tens of thousands. One call starts the process to stop the demand letters, stop aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS from targeting you. But don't delay. It's important to act now while you still have options. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. Optima has already resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get your life back. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima now for your free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The next set of space station crew members are scheduled to arrive at the Cape today for next week's launch.
SpaceX and NASA say they have one more minor issue to clear up, and otherwise they've given the go-ahead for next Thursday's launch. There are still more milestones before 2 Americans, a Japanese astronaut, and a European crew member will fly. SpaceX engineers plan to test fire the Falcon 9 rocket engine Saturday, and they've got a dress rehearsal countdown with the crew aboard the spacecraft on Sunday. If all goes as planned, the 3rd Crew Dragon spacecraft to carry humans will fly next Thursday at 6:11 a.m. Eastern Time. Peter King, CBS News, Orlando.
The Paris Opera snags a superstar conductor. Venezuela's 40-year-old fiery maestro Gustavo Dudamel will pick up the baton after his stint with the LA Philharmonic ends in 2026. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. it finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And now you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial. ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
If you are a sales professional looking for a new and exciting opportunity, listen up. Your next career in media sales is waiting for you. Cumulus Media has immediate openings in our sales department for experienced, hard-working account executives. You'll work closely with clients to meet their particular needs, from radio advertising to state-of-the-art digital campaigns. Sound like the perfect job for you? Call General Manager Don Polno today at 334-240-2257. Cumulus Media is an equal opportunity employer.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax. I like it too.
Trump is right. Millions are tuning into Newsmax TV and going to Newsmax.com for real news. Some polls give Joe Biden a high job approval, even 60%. Now, Newsmax is asking if you agree with that. Do you really approve of Joe Biden, his policies, and $4 trillion in spending? And do you think President Trump did a better job? Let us know. Vote in the Newsmax poll right now. Just text the word crime to 39747. That's crime to 39747. It takes just a minute. Let America know who you like better, Biden or Trump. Tens of millions are watching Newsmax TV, now on all major cable systems, smart TVs, and OTT platforms. And vote now in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word crime to 39747. That's crime to 39747. Let your voice be heard. And watch Newsmax today.
Here's a message just for the attorneys out there. So you passed the bar, joined a firm, or even built your own. Now are you finding out that you're doing more administration than actual law practice? Lexicon can help. Lexicon is a legal services and technology provider with over a decade of experience streamlining administrative tasks like timekeeping, HR, billing, client intake, and more, so you can focus on maximizing billable hours and increasing client satisfaction. Call 855-4-LEXICON or visit lexiconservices.com/go to learn more.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.
I'm better than WSFA News. Hey, well.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Monday afternoon at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Okay, I was doing some research there. Just trying to figure a couple of things out here. Got a couple guests coming on 7:30 for a couple of minutes. Who's that guy that plays baseball? Glavine. I'm not much of a baseball fan, but evidently Tom Glavine is some big muckety muck. I think he either played with the New York Mets or the Jets or somebody, or was it Atlanta? I don't know who he played with. I think it was Atlanta though. Atlanta Braves. Yeah, for a moment there. I don't know. Was he playing at the same time that Hank Aaron was with the Braves? I don't know. I can't remember. Yeah, I never. I mean, watching baseball sometimes it's tough on a brother. Okay, it's it. Anyway, good morning to you. The numbers here are 860-1440, just in case you have something you want to say. There's an issue going on with our. We passed this tax thing, right? We passed the tax thing. We stuck it to our own selves for the good of education. Okay, for the good of education. We let them bend us over and say, hey, take one for the team. So we took one for the team. And I think according to them, we are supposed to get somewhere, I don't know, $150 million and to build things, help the school system out and stuff like that. And maybe build a school or two, or things of that nature. And there has been some discussions at our board meetings about who is going to do the work. Now, again, I'm sitting here, at a place the other day having some chow, Now, unassuming, because, I wasn't the only brother in there, so I didn't stand out or anything like that. So nobody really knew who I was, which is, now it's good not to be known some days, because you can find out a lot more things. Okay, you can find out a lot more things. Now, what I am cogitating on is, should I divulge this information? So this is where I'm cogitating. Okay. Now, it is our money. It is our money. Here's what's at issue here. If we take up local money, local taxes, to fund our school system, and here's the big rub that everybody seems to, when I was sitting at the table the other day, here's the rub that's rubbing some people the wrong way. And a couple of those people, well, one is a current mayor, and one is a former mayor. And there seems to be some cogitation in the work when it comes to who is going to be employed to make sure that the process goes through. Now, see, I'm trying to tell you without telling you what's going on. Okay, there are two sides to this. Okay, I'm not going to name any names right now, but there are two sides here. If you take local money from us hard, low-paid employees like me, and the question is, should local people have priority when it comes to building these things for our schools, or organizing these things for our schools and for our school system? Or should we divvy that money out to people who really don't have a personal interest in the area? And so the question comes up, why do we take local money and write checks to people who do not live here? Okay, now, who may have an office here. They may have an office here, okay? And one of the companies that are involved in this process, and I'm not going to name any companies yet, because I'm trying to figure this out. One of the companies have a Montgomery address, but when you call them, it is a 251 number. Now, I don't really know where 251 is. It's either in Huntsville or Mobile or something like that. So it's not, in other words, their primary office is not Montgomery. It's kind of like Rogers, okay? It's kind of like Rogers, Chris Sales, and Kelvin Lawrence. They got one street in the district, which means that they can say they represent Montgomery, but they really don't. Chris Sale doesn't, Kelvin Lawrence doesn't either, but they get a little bit of piece of the baloney, and they can say, yeah, they do. Well, we'll see. I'll get back to this in a minute here. Good morning. Who's this? I'm not. You understand? Well, you have, and I'm, yes, yes. You put a weapon on us. Yes, yes, I do. Well, Listen, I'm trying. Uh, right, right. True, true. I don't fear them at all. I mean, I mean, but no, I'm in position now that I really don't. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, this is, yeah, yeah, that's true. That was Montiel. Yeah, well, I won't. Well, I am, but I'm gonna give you the history surround. I'm gonna hook. Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. Right, 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 right. They have some Rush TV. Yeah, yeah. And Todd. Yeah, that's true too. Well, well, I don't. I, yeah, I don't. Well, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. Hey, I love you. I still, yeah. No, this is the first time in my life that people say you're taking too long. Most of the time they say you're too quick. So I'm just saying, I'm cogitating on this. I'm trying to present this in a way not to divulge who I was listening to the other day, yesterday. So, and they don't know because I'm just sitting there. Yeah, I was just sitting there and looking at things. And but anyway, gotta take a break. We'll come back. Well, let me put it this way: there is something amiss, okay, about this school thing. Okay, there's something amiss. Now, I don't really know the position of former mayor, my good friend Todd Strange, and I really don't know the total position uh, between uh, the current mayor, Stephen Reed. Um, I did hear a couple of things. Though, I heard a little something there that I said, well, okay. Now I know I'm probably the only guy going to bring it up. I'm probably because well, they may have knew who I was. They may have said it on purpose so I could hear. So see, that's what I got. I got to validate some of this stuff. I'm going to put it to you this way, though. I'm going to put it to you this way. And here's the main question: should local companies have priority over companies that are not local when it comes to doing the work? Okay, that's the issue at hand. Now there are a couple other issues too. One of the companies involved, uh, well, now it's been a while ago, but one of them been sued a couple of times. Okay, not the local company, and it seems that even though they have been sued for doing for now remember that now remind you the businesses I'm talking about don't actually do the building. They they go out and get subcontractors and contractors and stuff like that to build these things. Now, is it a bad look if the people you pick do shoddy work? Now there is something. I was hearing the other day that we've actually had a couple schools built in Montgomery that needed a roof in the last 7 years. I said, really? I mean, I thought roofs supposed to last like 20 years or so. But anyway, that's a whole different story. But anyway, I'll take a break and we'll come back and I'll get to this. I'm just cogitating on this so I know how to present this to you. So I don't want everybody to be all messed up, but I do know that both of our mayors have and well, let me put it to you this way: our county commission is not necessarily enthusiastic. At least one person is not necessarily enthusiastic about giving this money to somebody outside the people in Montgomery. We'll be back. come fix my home. Let me also give a sincere condolence to Lamar Higgins, passed away. I didn't know him personally, but for the things that I know, I believe he's married to one of our judges here in our town. And our prayers go out to their family this morning. So sorry about your loss. And I've been trying to figure out who this 100-and-something-year-old woman is that listened to the show every morning. And for the guy who gave me that information, hey, text me that information again. I'm gonna take her something over to her house. I can't find the text. I got thousands of texts in this thing. Anyway, text me what's my number? 294-2551 is my text number. All right. Well, before I finish my other conversation, let me go to phone because somebody's been waiting here forever. Good morning. Who's this? Good morning.
While you're out delivering to the elderly, you can drop by my house. Me a chicken box.
Well, that's okay. I do that. As long as you like Popeyes.
Hey, that's good to me. You got in a doghouse with the strange mayor about letting the cat out of the bag about the water park.
Well, you know, I mean,
a little tender there.
well, you know, listen. Okay. Here's the problem, though. Here's what I've found. Kind of like all these shootings with the police and everything. Often, see, I'm only going by the conversation that I listened to yesterday. You know, while I was sitting in this place, and again, you never know what's true, what's half truth and whole truth. So I'm trying to eat around the philosophical points of this thing. And philosophically, the question is, should we give money to other people who live in other places rather than give the money to the local people who live in this place?
Think it now.
Okay.
Where there's smoke, there's about fire. And you've been down a trail once or twice, and you know you know there's probably some fire there.
Well, I want to put it this way: the way in which the case was presented at the restaurant the other day in that quiet little room, it sounded pretty feasible, whatever the hell the word is. I'm a wordsmith. Feasible to me. That what they were saying. And again, the question is, and I understand that Elton Dean is not very happy either. But right, but let me ask you: if they do good work, then what's wrong with that? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Mm. Right. Yeah. Well, right. Yeah. Oh, hey, didn't mean to hang up on you there. Sorry about that. I was trying to put another call on hold there. Barry, I'm doing fine. Now, for the folks who don't know who you are Barry Dean, and you are Father Dean's brother, as a matter of fact. You don't claim him? Well, he's he's a good man. But you also do something else. Now, I brought up Tom Glavine. Did he used to play with the Atlanta Braves? Okay, but tell us why you're on this morning. That you're gonna give us some information.
Appreciate you having me on. And we are doing our 12th annual First Pitch Dinner and Silent Auction, May the 3rd at the Renaissance in downtown Montgomery. All the proceeds benefit the 2021 Miracle Leagues of Alabama. It's an honor for me to help give money to those organizations. And Montgomery has one, Prattville has one. It's called the Field of Dreams, but it's got the Miracle League set up. Troy has one, Opelika, Auburn area has one. They're all around the state. Alex City's raising money for one. And Tom Glavine has been gracious enough to come in town, basically free of charge, and to help us raise money. And we still have some tables left, or tickets, individual tickets. It's $150 for one ticket. Everybody gets to meet Tom Glavine and get an autograph and a picture, or a table for $1,200, or a couple tickets, multiply it times 150. But we already have the strongest turnout we've ever had, but we got room for more. The Renaissance is doing a great job of hosting this. It's a great deal. Perry Grice and those guys. I'm excited to be down there with them, and just first class the venue.
Right now, and again, you actually have part of this organization. The disabled kids are able to get out there and play some baseball or whatever sports that you guys have out there, in which they otherwise they couldn't do this.
I run the Alabama Baseball Coaches Association. I'm not working for the Miracle Leagues or anything like that. Some people think I put so much information out about them, and I'm so passionate about it. It's just a kind of a part of our association I've taken on because I was inspired in 2011 when I went to the open day of the Dothan Miracle League. A good friend of mine was coaching, former junior college coach. His son was disabled, and he invited me down to the opening ceremonies, and I teared up with the kids coming out there on the field, and they were so in crutches or wheelchairs. It's a synthetic field, and kids or adults will play a kind of a mock-up baseball game, and they could be mentally or physically disabled or both. And it's just they have buddies out there. People volunteer. I've had, but not last year because of COVID, we didn't do it. But the year before, I had 30 teams, high school or colleges, join me at the 15 active fields. I would go around and visit. And I try to urge high schools and colleges to volunteer when they're not, because it just humbles us greatly, as we all know, when we go out and serve, whether it's the needy, the thirsty, the naked. I think Jesus talked about that in the Bible. I can't quote exactly where. My brother's a little strong.
Yeah, I understand.
But But I've taken it on. We do many things with the Alabama Baseball Coach Association. You know, we have our All-Star event in Troy this summer, a big convention for the coaches in January, all around the state, up in Birmingham, and so we've done that. But the Miracle League's kind of been my passion. But yeah, I mean, it's all around the state, and disabled children and adults can play. I'm on my little swing now. 11 of the 16 active leagues are playing this spring. 4 or 5 are not because of COVID. But I was in Coleman last night. I'll go to Huntsville tonight. I just volunteer for a game or two, meet the people where I'm giving the money. I get so much out of being out there with the kids. I get way more and receive way more than I ever will give. I was in Vestavia Hills. They have a new park last Sunday. Oh my gosh, it's just so. There's 1,000 folks out there. They were fired up. They're playing on Sundays now at Vestavia Hills, up there at Wall Park. Beautiful facility. So I try to get the kids and coaches, college kids and coaches involved. Try to raise the money to give to the leagues. We're giving $20,000 to Mobile's. I'm sorry. Yeah, to Mobile. They do not have a Miracle League, unfortunately. Well, they have someone down there, Donnie Brown, a high school umpire with the vision to do it. His family's got a lot of land. His wife's family, they donated land. We've given them $20,000. Take us a couple of years to pay it off. Summerdale, Alabama, right in the middle of Baldwin County. They're raising money. We've given them $10,000 to have a Miracle League down there. Alex City's raising money. Helena raising money to get Phil's up there. But it's a beautiful cause, Kevin. I urge people. All you have to do is to donate. You don't even have to come to the dinner. I'd love to have you at the dinner, meet Tom Clavin. But go to alabca.org. ALABCA, that's Alabama Baseball Coach Association.org. Look at our upcoming event section. The link's right there. There's a couple videos I put on there from 2018, my little tour around the state in 2019. Both of them are good and kind of show the kids and the college kids and coaches who help out high school kids. A friend of mine, Brian Dunn, put it together. He does a great job with video, and it shows kind of my work and other people helping me around the state. And it's a beautiful thing, man.
You know what I like about this though, you know, you got kids in wheelchairs out there who for a moment they forget about it. You know, they have a great time, and I tell you what this does do for us though. It makes our young kids and old folks too, like me. It makes me look at people like I watched this one movie, My 600-Pound Life. Now, before I started watching it, I just saw a 600-pound person. Said, man, you eat too much. But here's what I found: the more you look to get to know people, you find out why they are where they are in life, and maybe we can help. Maybe, and if I'm disabled, maybe I'm not so disabled. Maybe I'm not as disabled as I thought I was. There are some things I cannot do because I'm limited by physical abnormalities. But I want to bring those folks into the fold also. You know, I think you guys do great work. Now, I've never been to one of those games because, of course, I've never been invited, actually.
Community service along with me doing it. And but my buddy Sammy Frichter used to coach at Wallace Community College in Dothan for many years. Had a son who was severely mentally and physically disabled. He invited me to that Dothan. Dothan does a great job with their Miracle League. Their opening day in 2011, and I went down there, and that's where it really blew me out of the water. I stayed there. They had opening ceremonies. The mayor, Department of Leader Services, dignitaries were out there. They have a huge. They have a lot of the parents come out, of course, and a big group of kids, but I saw that going out there. But, you know, Coach Frichter's son is severely mentally and physically disabled. And I met him, of course, with Coach Frichter. And I saw him a few months later at the junior college state tournament. Coach Frichter showed up in Ozark where they played the junior college tournament. He's a former junior college coach. He sees him with his old coaching buddies. And his son was on a little John Deere tractor play toy that he loves riding. Everybody knew that. And he started calling my name out. And that blew me away, saying, "But I didn't think you know who I was." His son, he's severely mentally and physically disabled, and he's saying, "Barry Dean, Barry Dean," and that even hit me even harder. Like 5 months later, when the kids came, and he still calls my name every time he sees me, and I'm like, I think, I hate to say it, you don't look at them. Maybe did they know you, or But you, like you said, when you start dealing with them, and now I go around the league last night in Coleman, there are kids who I've seen, 2 years ago, because COVID, no one played last year, but you recognize all the kids when you go to these places. I'll be in Huntsville tonight, and they recognize you. So you think, and it makes it more human, I hate to say it, when you think, well, they're mentally challenged here, they won't know who I am. But that is just, it's amazing. It humbles me. It humbles when the high school kids and college kids and coaches come out there, when I'm with them and kind of nudge them to come out, they do it on their own. I always want to do it on their own, but if I'm coming in town, I'll call ahead of time and try to get them to join me. You'll see the high school kids or the coaches just light up.
Right.
Hansel joined me up here a few years ago, Wallace Community College in Hansel.
Okay. 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 Mm-hmm.
Saying, holy smokes, prisoners ought to get what they get, don't care about the conditions or this or that. But when you go in there and you start seeing these men face to face and kind of ministering to them when they're really ministering to you and humbling you. But when you get in there, and I've been to state and prison for several years after my brother got me into doing it, it just really took to where, hey, these guys, yes, they're criminals. Yes, they're in here for a reason. But the humanistic part of, are we going to really be like Jesus and just talk about it? Or are we going to actually try to go in and do something like that to be a light in the darkness right there? And that's the same thing. It humbles you unbelievably.
Okay. Yeah. Tell me again. Tell me again. What's that website that people can go to find out?
Yeah. It is alabca.org, which is short for Alabama Baseball Coaches Association. alabca.org. Just go there, come in the event section. You click it. You'll find the First Christian link. In that section, it's not hard to find. It takes you straight to our page. You can pay online. You can print the form off and send a check in. Just need to hurry up and do it, because if dinner's May the 3rd, we got to give them the head count about a week before for the meals.
Okay. All right. Well, give me a call. A couple of days before, so we can just remind people that it's going on. All right, Bear. All right. Thanks. That's Barry Dean. That's Father Dean's brothers. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll get to your calls and comments right after this. But I thought that was a very important thing that these guys do. Okay. Anyway, we'll be back. 860-1440 is the number here. You want to give us a call. You can always text me, 334-294-2551. We'll be right back.
We gonna walk it out and on day. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I like the way.
First alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Exergen. Accuracy matters. Trade up any non-contact thermometer for a $5 rebate toward an Exergen purchased at any retailer. Accuracy matters when taking temperature. Upgrade to Exergen, the only home forehead thermometer proven accurate by published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Visit Exergen.com.
A mainly cloudy Friday on the way, certainly a little below average as well. High temperatures in the low 70s. Some of us may get stuck in the upper 60s. A slight chance of a couple of light passing showers, but I would not worry about having rain gear with you, would not worry about seeing much in the way of rain activity. Some showers possible tonight into Saturday, but again, I don't expect a whole lot of rain, but some rain possible throughout the day, Saturday and Saturday night, drier beginning on Sunday.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. We've got an accident reported.
To depression, to whatever. Mental and physical. So, my prayer for the song is that it's just really inspiring. Now we do that for others, so hopefully.
broken down.
Auto Pros today at 239-9510.
Montgomery's most trusted shop for auto, paint, body, and mechanical repair. It's got to be McGriff. McGriff Auto Service also does oil changes and other routine maintenance, including warranty inspections. And they're still offering pickup within a 10-mile radius on Bell Street in Montgomery. McGriff.
I have the power to say this is not how my story will end.
My recovery comes first, so everything I love in life doesn't come last.
It's never easy, and it's really never over. But I know recovery is possible.
This is Dr. Clark. You've come this far. We're here to help you continue. You've got this, and we've got you.
This is Dr. Jones. Breakthrough Wellness provides services you need to keep moving forward and up.
Breakthrough Wellness Montgomery, Dothan, Clanton, and Phoenix City. BreakthroughWellness.net.
Peoplebygov.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1879 $10 Gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1879p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 30 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Just call government.com at 1-800-222-0984. And you are guaranteed a mint condition 1879 $10 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These 1879 gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 142 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-222-0984. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package of $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-222-0984 now to secure your 1879p Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-222-0984.
Hi, I'm Queen Latifah. Even with heart failure, my mother remained strong.
Because without strength, you lose hope. Together, we will rise above heart failure.
To help prevent, improve, or manage heart failure, go to riseabovehf.org.
I loved playing high school sports. I loved the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, all the pageantry, and I wanted to keep playing. But I graduated. No colleges called, and neither did the pros. So, to stay close to the game I loved, I decided to become a high school official. You know, a referee. When I played high school sports, I learned the importance of integrity, good sportsmanship, and respect for the rules. Now, as a high school official, I get to help model these same values to others. Maybe the colleges and the pros didn't call, but the kids in Alabama did. And now, I'm enjoying the competition, the camaraderie, the bands, the crowds, and all the pageantry of high school sports all over again.
This message presented by the Alabama High School Athletic Association and the Alabama High School Athletic Directors and Coaches Association.
Many of the locally owned and operated restaurants you love are staying open to serve you during this difficult time. To find a list of these restaurants, visit newsradio1440.com. Eat local and help our local businesses stay open.
And you can't find out, but I see it in you, so we gon'.
The time on the clock says it is 7:46 in the morning this Sunday, and all of this came about because of the meeting the other day with the school board, and some people are a little bit upset that other people did not get an opportunity to do their presentation, and I think that's fair. I think it's a fair question to ask. Why does one company, was able to present theirs, but matter of fact, the article goes on and says that Tuesday's Montgomery Board of Education meeting work session turned lengthy as board members questioned the Montgomery Public School leader selection of a construction consulting company. Now remember, these companies don't do the work. They go out and find people to do the work, okay? A consulting company to lead a planned $150 million capital improvement project. Volkert and Associates Incorporated is a Mobile-based consulting firm with an office in Montgomery. I'm going to find that office. Planning, engineering, and construction services to both public and private clients. With the property tax increase in November, the district plans to leverage the additional funding to secure a $150 million bond to address the mountains, okay, of deferred maintenance across the system's buildings. With $3 million annual budget to maintain 65 buildings, many schools have suffered under continued neglect. Anybody that's still there, been there all this time, they need to be gone. The district publicized a request for qualification, I guess they call that an RO something, in February, eventually receiving 3 responses. The company retained would complete a facility study, a demographic study, and ideally lead the construction through completion. Marvin Rudolph, the district director of purchasing, explained Superintendent Ann Roy Moore, Director of Operations Chad Anderson, and Chief Financial Officer Arthur Watts evaluated the options after their lengthy process. Volkert had the highest rating among the group. Okay, that's good. With Volkert representatives at the meeting to make their presentation on their work, several board members questioned why they weren't involved in the selection process or hearing presentation with the other 2 companies. Now, and according to this article in the newspaper, with $200 million in deferred maintenance, Montgomery Public Schools are in dire needs of repairs. Additionally, they called into question Volkert's reputation, pointing out to a $9 million lawsuit settled with another Alabama school district in 2010, and expressed concern over why the district wouldn't contract with local consulting companies that have been used in the past. Again, therein lies the question. Why do we forego local people with local money? Now, it's my understanding that both our mayors, our former mayor and our current mayor, have a preference in this thing. Now, I'm not going to put their preference out there. If they want everybody to know, they'll tell you, I guess. But they have a preference, and I personally can't understand either why we wouldn't give unless they can show some compelling reason why we do that. Again, now Volkert they say they got an office, but when you call them, you call a 251 number, Now, again, a lot of people, anybody can put a room in a building and call it their office, which is cool. Again, $150 million, that's a lot of money. And here's my problem with doing things outside the skirts of Montgomery. Let's say they finish. Let's say it gets done. And all of a sudden we find problems. How do we hold people who live 200 miles away accountable? And what does that look like? What does that look like, trying to reach people to solve problems? I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. Now, there are those who would have rather heard from other people. Okay, I just feel there should be further investigation. The board should have been a part of it. So I don't know how the board was not a part of it. Communications is the problem, said District 1's Lisa Keith. Nothing that an information packet on Volkert given to a board member just prior to the Tuesday meeting, expecting her to vote with such a short window to look over the information. And I can understand that. She says it's ridiculous and it's criminal. I got that. So why do we not give our school board an opportunity to investigate or look into both to everybody that's involved? So they gonna show up and you're gonna give them something the same day to me. I find this crazy. I realize it's not your money. I realize it's our money, but $150 million. We we ought to have our board, the person who represents me, which is Dr. Keith, who represents me, and I still got a kid that's got to go to school. So why aren't we more intimately involved in the process? $150 million is nothing to sneeze at. I mean, I wouldn't sneeze at it, would you? Anyway, I just feel there should be further investigation and the board should have been a part of it. I agree. She added sentiment echoed by board members Jana Bailey, Chrisanda Brown, and Dr. Brenda Doremus Coleman. So, there's some, shall we say, like Keith, Bailey questioned the amount of research done on Volcker and why the district wouldn't choose a local company. And it's my understanding from my listening the other day that Elton Dean's asking the same question. Okay, interesting. Good morning. Who's this? Fine.
You talk about the contracts and such. I think the role of a politician is to be first and foremost faithful stewards of the financials that are given to them by the taxpayers. And so there's an obligation for whoever left that contract to get the best deal within limitations, I would say. If you have a local that's here, that's within 2, 3, 4% what an outside company, Birmingham, Mobile, wherever, then yeah, give it to the local. But if a local comes up and it's 10%, didn't you say $150 million in contract?
Mm-hmm. Well, that's the work they say they are going to, do. Mm-hmm.
These local consulting firms, the ability to match a company that is in a different part of the state or even out of state.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. Listen, if the difference is 10%, you go with local. Again, I'm with you with certain conditions. I mean, as long as they have a record of accomplishment and competency, So I'm good with local. I mean, that's a lot of money to give somebody who evidently has one office in Montgomery, someplace, somewhere. I think it's out near Halcyon, someplace. But when you call them, you got to call a 251 number.
It goes back to economies of scale. If you have a company, give you an example, Blunt Construction. They build U.S. embassies. Excuse my tongue-tied lips this morning. Embassies around the world, but they also turn around and they just did a $92 million expansion on Bryant Denny Field in Tuscaloosa. So, you have local. When I say local, we are looking at the state. It's not just Montgomery that can compete against international firms. But again, your first responsibility is they're taking money out of my paycheck, out of my sales tax every single day. And so politicians have an obligation to be faithful stewards of your money, my money, everybody else that drives through here, and establish criteria. Here it is in paper. This is what we are willing to do if you're a local firm and you're within X%, because then the money stays local.
Well, like according to the article in the paper, listen, how in the world can you be willing to spend this kind of money and not make our board, our board of education, not part of that process? I mean, that just that doesn't make any sense.
make sure we understand, first of all, that one of the reasons why the Montgomery County school system was taken over was because of the interference from board members in day-to-day operations of Montgomery County school system.
Right, but this is not a day-to-day operation. Well, 150, right, but what is our board for if not to represent us? Right. Right. Okay. All right. Hey. Okay, good. I gotta go. We'll be back.
On News Radio 1440.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Police in Indianapolis say 8 people were shot and killed in a shooting late Thursday.
Dangerous to work at FedEx these days.
Police spokesperson also says at least 4 people were hospitalized, including 1 person with critical injuries. 2 others were treated at the scene and released. Authorities say the shooter also shot and killed himself. Health officials testified on Capitol Hill Thursday, a day after an advisory panel asked to continue a pause on the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Concern a rare blood clot. 6 cases reported out of more than 7 million doses administered. It will be at least a week before a panel of experts advising the CDC decides if it's safe to start giving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine again. And in sports news, the Magic City Classic is this weekend, delayed from the fall due to the pandemic. Tickets are limited and there is no tailgating. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at Birmingham Legion Field. That's the news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News.
News Radio 1440, WLWI AM and 95.1 HD3 FM, Montgomery.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
This is a sight that no one should ever have to see.
Indianapolis police are working on a motive after a mass shooting at a FedEx warehouse near the airport there late last night. 9 people were killed. That includes the gunman. It happened on Jeremiah Miller's shift.
I saw an assault rifle of some sort. I saw the clip, and he started firing.
Indianapolis Police Deputy Chief Craig McCart tells CBS this morning.
My understanding was that he had already taken his own life when officers entered the facility.
Several people were wounded. 1 is in critical condition. FedEx has just issued a statement expressing shock and sadness. The company is reportedly reevaluating a policy that requires employees to lock up their phones while they're working. There are new questions over newly released body cam video of a Chicago police officer shooting a 13-year-old boy to death as he raised his arms in the air. Officers say they believed Adam Toledo had a handgun. Correspondent Adriana Diaz spoke with the family's attorney.
What do you make of the freeze frame that the police has released where they say this is a gun in Adam's right hand?
We don't know what, if anything, was in that child's hand. And if I can't see it in the real-time video, which the officer was looking at him in real time, how could everybody say that he had a gun in his hand?
Some businesses along the city's Magnificent Mile have boarded up windows in anticipation of more protests. One state is on the verge of loosening gun restrictions. CBS's Jim Krasula has the details.
Texas handgun owners would no longer need a license or training to carry a gun in public under a bill that cleared a major vote in the Republican-controlled legislature. Democrats in the Lone Star State have fought loosening gun laws after the 2019 mass shooting in a Walmart store in El Paso.
A new spring wave of coronavirus cases and hospitalizations is washing over many parts of the country. The Ohio governor, Mike DeWine.
We are in a battle, and we got to win. But the way we do it is the mask and to keep vaccinating people in the state of Ohio.
New Hampshire lifts its mask mandate today. British royals preparing to say goodbye to Prince Philip. His funeral's tomorrow at a chapel on the grounds of Windsor Castle. Correspondent Roxana Sabiri.
They'll have to wear masks and socially distance, with the Queen seated alone.
Ceremony as well as
Still, royal correspondent Roy Anika says the Duke of Edinburgh will get the funeral he really wanted.
smaller, intimate, no fuss, just like Prince Philip.
S&P futures are up 9. Dow futures ahead 79. This is CBS News.
CBS News Radio is your home for breaking news. With our team of reporters around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adoptive mom. She said sometimes you just gotta hold on and know we'll get through this. Mom, we are so high up. Hold my hand.
No, you hold my hand.
Here we go.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org to find out more. This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Millions are tuning into Newsmax TV and going to Newsmax.com for news. Now, Newsmax is asking if you approve of President Joe Biden, his policies, and trillions in spending. And did President Trump do a better job? Vote in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word FISH to 39747. That's FISH to 39747. Let us know who you like better, Trump or Biden. Vote in the Newsmax poll. Text FISH to 39747. That's FISH to 39747. And watch Newsmax today.
The NFL is bringing back the Draftathon.
The three-day fundraiser will coincide with the NFL Draft, April 29th through May 1st, and raise money and awareness for pandemic recovery efforts. The fundraiser will focus on 4 national nonprofit organizations that support underserved communities, including the CDC Foundation and Feeding America. Last year, the league raised $6.6 million during the event, but the NFL donated more than $100 million to COVID relief efforts in 2020. Draftathon airs on ESPN, the NFL Network, and all social media platforms. Monica Ricks, CBS News.
Prince Philip always walked 2 paces behind Queen Elizabeth in public. The royal protocol will continue. In death, Philip will be buried in a vault at Windsor Castle St. George's Chapel after his funeral tomorrow. After the Queen dies, he'll be disinterred and buried in a different vault next to her. The Queen's mother and sister, Princess Margaret, lie in that same vault. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Make money on the 25K Workday Payday. It's all about money. It's your national keyword to win $100. Text HUGE, H-U-G-E, HUGE, to 95819. Standard messaging rates apply. Don't text and drive. We'll text back to confirm your entry. If you win, you'll be entered to win a grand prize of $25,000. It's the 25K Workday Payday on News Radio 1440.
Oh, man.
It's a different year. You need to reach your potential customers, and your customers need to be able to find you. Let Cumulus Media help. We've built a unique opportunity for you to connect your business with River Region homeowners that are looking for your products and services. Radio, digital, and lead generation for your business, helping you reach hundreds of thousands of people in this area. You need to talk to Cumulus Media. Call Don Polno at 334-240-2257. That's 334-240-2257.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
If you're worried about your hard-earned dollars becoming worthless or your 401k or IRA losing value, then now is the time to move into gold. No, not gold or silver stocks. For real gold and silver, you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling Oxford Gold today at 833-600-GOLD. The Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's a lot easier than you think. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. Put your savings and retirement accounts into something real, like gold and silver. Get your free Oxford Gold Group Investment Guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home, or how you can have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Don't sit back and watch your savings in a retirement account suffer. Now is the time to make your money work as hard for you as you did for your money. So do this. Call the Oxford Gold Group right now, today, 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
They are the two sexiest fat men alive. Ready, and you can hear Rick and Bubba on News Radio 1440, beginning at 9 a.m. Depend on it.
Okay. I'm coming. Okay, I was down there brown nosing. Anyway, good morning. How's everybody doing? It's a Friday morning. I'm feeling good. But anyway, we were talking about, I don't know why we have boards if they get ignored. And like the other day, now, even though I happen to be a prestigious member of our community, I'm on a board, the Parks and Recreation Board, but first thing I know is I see that the mayor and the parks director, they're out there giving all of these things, which is good about hiring kids for the summer. But if you're not gonna use the wisdom and the of the boards, then let's not have them. But we do have boards, and our school board is a very important process of that apparatus. And it would seem like to me that you insult them and us as people by not using them. Okay, most of them, at least I know a couple of them, are educators. Now they may not be proficient in building structures and design and things of that nature, but they know, they've been around a while. They getting paid to handle to look at these things. So can we not ignore our boards? Okay, can we not? And that goes for the one I'm on. I don't want to be ignored either. Okay, unfortunately for you guys, I get an opportunity to come on the radio and tell what I'm ticked, because we got these positions, and what Mr. Bollinger, bless his soul, told me make a difference. Well, I can't make a difference if y'all don't let me know you got a meeting going on. So anyway, the whole board thing, and the biggest deal from Elton Dean, from what I understand, was, why can't we use local companies? Well, I don't know. I guess you use the best company. I guess that's what you use, is the best company. But again, I agree with Bud. If it's only a 10% variance there, you weigh that toward the local company. I would think you would. But again, I don't know. They don't pay me to make those decisions. Good morning. Morning, Ed.
How you doing?
I am fine.
Okay. I think we all understand now. Long time ago, it was about hate. Look at the killing. Look how they're shooting. A long time ago, it was about hate and money. Today, what it is about today, Kevin?
It's your circus, Ed. I'm letting you say it. All right, appreciate it. Somebody sent me a text, said that MPS comes under the Montgomery County. That's not true. MPS is a distinct and different entity. It does not come under the supervision of the Montgomery County Commission. Okay, now you would think that it would, but it doesn't. It comes under the state. It comes under Eric Mackey. Okay, but it doesn't. The Montgomery School Board does not answer to anybody in the county of Montgomery. They don't. Now, if I am wrong, somebody please call and tell me. They don't. They answer to Eric Mackey and the state board. Okay, they don't answer. They don't answer to us. Okay, they are a complete and separate entity. And I don't know if I'm all that upset about that. What we do get to do, though, and here's where this board comes in. What we do get to do, kind of like the county commission. I mean, the county commission and this in the state and the city council. They get to put representatives. We as citizens get to vote for representatives on that board to hopefully look out for our interests. But the county commission, I want to make sure we get this totally under control. The county commission, as well as the city council, has nothing to do with the operation, supervision of the Board of Education. Okay, so just remember, that is one of the reasons why you can't hardly get that done. So what our board does, I'm hoping, is that they go to these boards and let our complaints, our criticisms, our commendations be known to the people that are on that run the board. Okay, so that's why when everybody runs for public office around here, and they always talk about education, they can't do jack unless they work downtown at the State Board of Education. They have no purview over this thing whatsoever. Do you believe that any mayor in the city of Montgomery wouldn't take the opportunity to fire and hire people that they thought could do a better job than what's been going on the last 10, 12, 30 years? Of course they would. The administrators, they like to see good results. They can't. Elton Dean can't. Harris can't. Sankey can't. Walker can't. Can't do anything. Okay? They just can't do anything to the Board of Education. We can raise hell, but that's kind of like me raising hell. You can't do nothing either, except let my displeasure be known. So I do believe if we talk about $150 million, our board members ought to be part of that process, at least of deciding who's going to have the wherewithal to, because again, whether it's Volkert or any other company that's going to use that money, they're not going to build jack. Their job is to put the pieces together to make sure that the job gets done. 860-1440 is our numbers here, as the Rudolph, along with Watts, disagreed with the board members' assessment of their work, further explaining the process that led to choosing Volkert, which went beyond the requirements of board policies and state statutes. They said, as CSFO, our number one priority is ensuring that if the superintendent makes a recommendation for anybody, we are getting the goods or products that we're paying for. Watts said, we always ensure that we're going to uphold legal requirements, which I understand that. When it comes to Volkert's experience on education projects, the company served as the Birmingham City Schools program manager from 2003 to 2013, completing a massive capital improvement project valued at over $550 million, according to the company's website. Okay, so again, I'm just saying, we ought to know what's going down before it comes down on us. Additionally, Volker Chief Operating Officer Leon Barkin noted in his presentation to the board that the company had managed construction projects for Alexander City, Madison City, Jefferson County, and Morgan County school districts, equating to over $1 billion in K-12 education projects in the state. The concern with Volkert's reputation was rooted in a lawsuit settlement with Mobile County Public Schools in 2010, with the company paying the district $9 million. He said it was frankly something that we've grown from, and that's good. Okay, that's good. Anyway, after the presentation, Keith Keith said, well, one of the guys said, we have done billions of dollars of work within Alabama since then. We would not continue to be hired by doing bad work. And that makes sense. At the presentation, Dr. Keefe said she was impressed by the company, especially by its ownership of old mistakes. People make them sometimes. But added that she still wants to hear from the two other companies. And I think that makes sense. County Commissioner Elton Dean attended the board meeting and spoke during the public comment section about his disagreement with the choice of Volker. Volker is great, but when you are going to start taking care of people in your own city, I think that makes sense. The district said he said, should award the contract to TCU Consulting Services, a Montgomery business that has led the construction of several of district schools, including Carver, Impact, Lamp, and Park Crossing High School, Johnny Carr Middle School, and Wilson Elementary. Despite Volker's office in Montgomery, he disagreed with the assessment that the company and its employees are truly invested in the community. Yeah, I don't know, but it does seem like to me that TCU and the other company should have had an opportunity to present their case. It's almost as if, and I'm not saying, I don't know, wasn't there, nobody told me anything, but I don't know, it's almost as if, let's put it this way. Let me see if I can put this in a vernacular. A few years ago, we were looking for a president for a local school. Now, everybody already knew who was going to get the job. Everybody already knew who was going to get the job. But we went through this dance thing where we actually interviewed other people when we already knew who was going to get the job. So was the case already solved before we even got there, Dr. Keith? I don't know. Was it already a done deal before we even, and they only showed up as a technicality. So, and listen, that's the way business has always been done. I guess it'll always be done. But again, how can you honestly say that you gave everybody an opportunity to present their case when only one person did? So why did y'all invite them? I mean, seriously, why did you invite them if, in fact, the decision had already been made? I think it's a good question. Personally, myself. 860-1440. Anyway, that's my take on this whole school thing. But $150 million is a lot of money, and I'm kind of with Elton Dean on this. Why don't we give our local folks an opportunity? Since Volker's not going to build this school, and TCU and the other companies not going to build it either, their job is to amass the resources to get it done. And it seems that, now I haven't heard too many people complain about all these other local schools that TCU and everybody, was involved in. Remember though, they don't build the schools, they pick the people to build the schools. So, I don't know. I haven't heard too many complaints. Only complaint I heard is that one of the roofs is leaking. Now, but I'll have to do some further investigation on that. Good morning. Who's this? Yes, ma'am. Well, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck and sounds like a duck, it might be a duck. Oh, okay. I'm just looking at things. I'm slowing down in my old age. I get a chance to look at things. Good morning. I'm cogitating. Yes. They were given information less than a day, the same day that the meeting. Yeah, I think they did not have enough information.
I'm talking about when they got ready to say we're going to choose somebody to work on these buildings in their other meetings, and they did not come up with the ground rules about how this process is going to work.
Well, now again, the way it looks to me from afar, that's about. They weren't very much involved in the process. Well, not necessarily. What they didn't know is who had been selected. It seems. Right. Well, I believe the CFO mentioned that they did, but again, according to what I was reading in the article, they had just gotten a piece of paper about that decision. Uh, 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 but why not allow the other people? Right. Well, why not allow the other two companies that were involved in this process present their presentation also?
I mean, I can deal with that, but that comes back to, like I said, the process that we was going to take this process with the contract. Okay, the board should have said we're going to have this process, and then this is how this is going to go. Then there's going to be a choice made by whom or whoever, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah.
And at the end, and I'm just looking at the process in the beginning. If you sit in that board and we say we got to get somebody to fix these schools for $200 million. Well, if somebody else says we're going to set up this process and this is how this is going to go.
Well, again, I'm listening to, according to this article in Montgomery Advertiser, it seems that a lot of members of that board were caught off guard, and they didn't realize, they didn't know that the decision had already been made in their absence or without their cooperation.
4 or 5 members were going to choose those companies or choose the company that was going to do this contract.
Listen, from what I can see from setting over here, everybody knew but them.
Go back and find some of the meetings that this is how they said they was going to operate this process, and then these folks are going to be on that choice committee. And if you're in any business, you know there's always somebody going to make a decision that you ain't got part of, but you don't say nothing until the end. And I don't know what it is about us with these boards that we'll go to these boards and get paid, I guess, on these boards, and then we can't come up with a process about how things going to operate before we get to decide what we're going to create all kind of habits about.
Well, I do believe that the Board of Education, our members, ought to be intimately involved in the decision-making process. They shouldn't get right, and they shouldn't be blindsided by decisions that have already been made outside their seeing or hearing. Nah. All right, appreciate it. I don't know if they want to get caught up in this. 8:26 in the morning. Let's take one more call and go to a break. Good morning. Yeah. I'm telling you, no, it does not come under the county. It's a county school system, but it has the city, the county commissioners have no authority over the school system. That's all they do. That's all they do.
LD didn't have a say so of the purse strings of that, the 1% and that other tax that you helped get approved. I think the person that holds a purse strings has a great.
I'm telling they have a megaphone, right? They got a megaphone, but they have no authority. Nothing.
I think they had an authority last time when they did not agree with on spending the money, and they did not send that money to the system.
Do you know that once the checks are written, your authority, your influence is gone? Yeah.
Check yet. They got to collect money that's coming in too for the taxpayers. Remember, this is a 3-year.
Right. I'm just telling you that they have no authority. They have no authority whatsoever. None. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Again, he is a kind of right. He is the chairman of the county commission, but it's a paper tiger. He can exert a little bit of influence if they'll listen, but if they don't listen, then he can't do anything about it. Nothing. Okay, you too. But if Elton Dean's out there, hey, I welcome to call 860-1440 or text me at 294-2551, and I like to talk to him because that's one of the problems I've had since I've been here. We pay the money, but we don't really have any authority on the decision-making process. We'll be back.
First Alert weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Exergen. Accuracy matters. Earn a $5 rebate by trading up any non-contact thermometer toward an Exergen purchased at any retailer. Accuracy matters. And Exergen temporal artery thermometers are backed by more than 80 published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Visit Exergen.com.
Mainly cloudy Friday on the way, certainly a little below average as well. High temperatures in the low 70s. Some of us may get stuck in the upper 60s. A slight chance of a couple of light passing showers, but I would not worry about having rain gear with you, would not worry about seeing much of the rain activity. Some showers possible tonight into Saturday, but again, I don't expect a whole lot of rain, but some rain possible throughout today, Saturday, and Saturday night, drier beginning on Sunday.
That's your First Alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. Trouble on Perry Hill Road in front of the VA. Got an accident with injury. Also, we understand from one of my Twitter followers, the traffic lights are out Perry Hill at Marquette, so be careful there. Carter Hill at Zelda, we've got an accident reported at that location, so please be careful if you're heading there. 567-9000, that's the number to call. NCS for equity loan on your home, land, or auto. Good credit, slow credit. NCS in Wetumpka, just a phone call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, it's the law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's Nose. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's Nose.
Good morning, I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Police in Indianapolis say 8 people were shot and killed in a shooting late Thursday at a FedEx facility. Police spokesperson also says at least 4 people were hospitalized, including 1 person with critical injuries. 2 others were treated at the scene and released. Authorities say the shooter also shot and killed himself. Health officials testified on Capitol Hill Thursday, a day after an advisory panel asked to continue a pause on Johnson & Johnson vaccine. Concern, a rare blood clot. 6 cases reported out of more than 7 million doses administered. It will be at least a week before a panel of experts advising the CDC decides it's safe to start giving the Johnson & Johnson vaccine again. And in sports news, the Magic City Classic is this weekend, delayed from the fall due to the pandemic. Tickets are limited and there is no tailgating. Kickoff is at 6:30 p.m. Saturday at Birmingham Legion Field. That's news for now. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12.
Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen has stories of humble beginnings and humbling moments from inspiring people.
Dr. Fauci, is there a through line of the presidents that you've served under?
I have served 7 presidents. Each has different challenges. George W. Bush started the president's emergency plan for AIDS relief, which resulted in saving 14 to 15 million lives. Most people don't appreciate that accomplishment on his part.
Just Getting Started with Rich Eisen. Listen on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your shows.
Newsmax, you like Newsmax? I like it. Trump is right. Millions are tuning into Newsmax TV and going to Newsmax.com for real news. Some polls give Joe Biden a high job approval, even 60%. Now, Newsmax is asking if you agree with that. Do you really approve of Joe Biden, his policies, and $4 trillion in spending? And do you think President Trump did a better job? Let us know. Vote in the Newsmax poll right now. Just text the word crime to 39747. That's crime to 39747. It takes just a minute. Let America know who you like better, Biden or Trump. Tens of millions are watching Newsmax TV now on all major cable systems, smart TVs, and OTT platforms. And vote now in the Newsmax poll. Just text the word crime to 39747. That's crime to 39747. Let your voice be heard. and watch Newsmax
At
today.
Guardian Credit Union, we're creating connections in new ways because connections have a way of inspiring hope, strengthening ourselves and our communities, and creating stronger financial futures. Connections happen within Guardian Credit Union, but more importantly, in how we all treat our neighbors and how we all support our communities. So join us, connect with us, and we'll show you this is where you belong. Guardian Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Lucy's 14. She sure gets around well.
Yep, I don't know what I'd do without her. She makes me look forward to coming home after work.
Are you still feeding her Neutrina dog food?
Yes. Did you know it's only a little over $17 for a 50-pound bag, and they carry it out and load it into my car?
I like that Neutrina has different formulas for maintenance, high energy, high protein. Well, all types of dogs.
Visit Randy at Prattville Farm Center, 1154 South Memorial Drive. Prattville Farm Center, call 365-5400.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Today at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
But if there's one telling statement in all of this, it is this one. He said, District 1's Dr. Lisa Keith said, nothing that an information package on Volcker was given to board members just prior to the Tuesday meeting, and expecting her to vote on such a short window and look over the information. Keith said it's ridiculous and it's criminal. I don't know about criminal, but kind of ridiculous, yeah. I mean, you use the word criminals, kind of tough on that one, Dr. Keith. I mean, maybe they just thought you was gonna rubber stamp it, bam. Yeah, let's raise your hand, like the city council does sometimes. Oh yeah, we go for that. I'm just saying. Anyway, moving on to other things. We don't have a whole lot of time left, but it was interesting to see. Nice that somebody once said, if everybody thinks the same, somebody's not thinking at all. Okay, I'm just saying. I know how she feels though. I felt the same way when I heard about the program, the press conference the other day with the mayor and the board of it and the Parks and Recreation Board. I'm on that board, baby, and I don't know nothing about this meeting. I don't know what's going on. And then I heard later on it was a meeting that was hastily put together. It was not something that was planned. That's not an excuse though. We need to plan these things so I can be at these places I need to be at, so I can exert my influence. Okay, I'm just saying that's not leave me out anymore. Okay. 860-1440 is your number here. Good morning. Who's this? Morning.
I mean, you bring up good points, and the facts are the facts, and hopefully the truth will come out. And unfortunately, so many guys in government, former mayors, etc., generals, admirals, they all go on, senators, congressmen, and they all go on to become lobbyists and make piles of money off because of their connections and being able to put their spit on the ball. But it's just terrible how, like you say, Miss Keith was railroaded into making a vote, and on in such short order. But you think about all these guys, whether it's the former mayors and the deans and the Reeds. I mean, all these guys have been all part of this Montgomery corruption mess for years, and I don't know what you can do. But I'm to clean it up. But thank you for bringing this out, so at least the people in the radio audience can hear what's going on in their city and try to speak out on it as well.
All right. Hey, I appreciate it. I don't like using the word corruption because it assumes things that are not in evidence. And so I'm wondering, You know, if you tell me that some of these things are done out of the ordinary, are not within suggested protocols, I could agree with that. But when you say corruption, that's saying that somebody's knowingly doing something wrong. I don't know that. I know one thing. It's kind of saying y'all in the South. Y, comma, ALL. Y'all. Now we know there's really no such word as y'all. But it has been used for so long. The tradition is steeply embedded into the fabric of the South. And now it's okay to say y'all. See, and I like the word, yeah. I mean, it cuts out a lot of syllables and all that. Y'all. See, one syllable, y'all. Y'all need to hit it. Well, now if I had to say you all need to hear that, that takes it like an extra second to say. So I'm good with y'all. I'm just saying. So there are things that have customarily been done that has been accepted for so long until it has been thought to be policy, and it isn't. Okay. Again, I want my board member, because I'm gonna Z kind of mad at me because I'm putting him in public school this year. And I'm gonna raise so much hell they don't do what they're supposed to do over there. I'm gonna be the most hated parent in Montgomery, Alabama. Okay, I'm gonna put him because we paying a hell of a lot of money for these schools. I just had to up my rent, up my taxes on my house. So somebody better be ready to come to work and do the job and teach. And don't send them home to me talking about you need to teach them. If I wanted to be a teacher, I'd have a job down there. But I can tell whether or not you teaching them. I can tell that. All right then. So whatever school he goes to, y'all just be aware. I am not gonna be playing. Do the job and expect them. I taught them to show up, sit up, and shut up. Okay, because he don't talk much anyway. So just do what you're told to do. Get the work done. Do the job. You got 4 years to determine which direction you are going to go as you become a young man. So now it's time. So y'all better do a good job at that school. I'm telling you, I'll be on you like stank on a dog. Okay, let them learn. You shouldn't have to go to a magnet school to get a decent education. Now he probably can qualify for a magnet school, but what's that say about everybody else? Honestly, what does that say about going to? So I got to get the lucky number for magnet school, or else I'm going to be relegated to irrelevance. Okay, and that just ticks me off so bad I don't know what to do. Everybody that goes to every school around here, every high school around here, when they get out of school, whether it's a magnet school, whatever, they ought to be capable of working within our community, our society, with some of the basics. And the basics are what? Reading, writing, and arithmetic. Okay, arithmetic. Okay. Everybody ought to be able to subtract, multiply, and divide. Okay, when they get out of school, everybody should be able to do that. Okay, everybody. You ought to be able to read basic structure, basic sentences, basic things. You ought to be able to look at a street sign and be able to read it. Okay, you ought to be able to do that. And if you can't, I'm blaming the school. I am. I'm blaming the school. If my child don't learn in school, I'm blaming the school. I'm not blaming me. Okay, maybe a little bit. Good morning. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Really say it's nepotism, and you, like you said, you don't like corruption, that wouldn't matter anyway, because most of the people that settled this part of the country, a good percentage of them came from the jails of Europe.
Even you going way back there. Come on, right? We're in 2021 now.
I know, but fraternal might be the answer. I bet you, if you look at the college campuses to the city and the public servants, You will see it all. You know, I've studied this stuff like you wouldn't believe, and I could give you a schematic that would scare you. What's going on right now with the gambling? Look at that. You know, McGregor's out of business because the legislation was changed, going from one committee to another. Now they coming up. They had a bill that they weren't going to let anybody play with one group, and it was rejected. So they're trying to drag them in. But no one has. We've had no public debate over this. We're getting ready to change the Alabama Constitution for something that's bigger than anything that's ever happened here. But a few people that have absolutely no morals or anything. They're just all corrupt.
Well, here's what I wonder though. Talk about constitutionality. How in the hell did we get who had the gravitas to but what's gambling got to do with my constitutional rights? Yeah. I mean, why should they even do? Yeah. I mean, yeah. 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 A lot of it, and a lot of it is. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, appreciate it. Take one more call for my last break an hour. Good morning. Who's this? Yes.
Elton Dean and all. I just think, Kevin, that you get those very large scale projects, you really, really should consider, your local people. And even if there's some hesitancy about those local people, and if there are multi companies involved, then just go ahead and make those companies hire a construction, project manager. Um, but to know that you're doing large scale projects, and you don't look at your people locally, then when the board needs the people locally, I would be very careful on how I handle as chairman of the Montgomery County Commission. Because if you need money, then the chairman of the county commission is the one who's going to have to see that, initiative through. But I'm probably one of the few people, Kev, that even knew in years past who David Boker, is. And just like the work that they do will almost be equivalent as big as Yates in the state of Mississippi.
Yeah, the one thing that bothers me though, why did not the school board have an opportunity at least to listen to the other presentations of the other two companies? That it's almost like they had already made their minds up before. They had a meeting before the meeting. Yeah.
As your question, did they do an FRP?
Well, they did I think they got something. It's called let's see. It said the district publicized a request for qualification. I guess that's an RQ in February, and eventually receiving 3 responses. So, but they only. We ought to take, and I agree with you, we ought to take some notice of Maynard Jackson, what he did in Atlanta. He made sure that a lot of folks, he made a lot of millionaires out of a lot of people, and Atlanta's been made better for it. Now, with the purple and pink, green streets, like stuff like that, I don't know about all that, but Anyway, we'll be back. We got to take a break right after this.
Gotta find me an angel to fly away. Gotta find me an angel.
Weather forecast on News Radio 1440.
This report is sponsored by Extra Exergen. Accuracy matters. Trade up any non-contact thermometer for a $5 rebate toward an Exergen purchased at any retailer. Accuracy matters when taking temperature. Upgrade to Exergen, the only home forehead thermometer proven accurate by published peer-reviewed clinical studies. Visit Exergen.com.
A mainly cloudy Friday on the way, certainly a little below average as well. High temperatures in the low 70s. Some of us may get stuck in the upper 60s. A slight chance of a couple of light passing showers, but I would not worry about having rain gear with you, would not worry about seeing much of any rain activity. Some showers possible tonight into Saturday, but again, I don't expect a whole lot of rain, but some rain possible throughout the day, Saturday and Saturday night, drier beginning on Sunday.
That's your first alert forecast. I'm meteorologist Tyler Seabury for News Radio 1440.
Montgomery Skywatch traffic brought to you by Brubaker Motors. It's better at Brubaker on News Radio 1440.
Good morning, Montgomery. South Street at Decatur. Watch for this one as you take the Union Street exit off of 85 southbound. South Street at Decatur. Also, still got some problems and backups on Perry Hill Road near the VA due to an accident there earlier this morning. At Carter Hill at Zelda, our most recent accidents. 567-9000. That's the number to call MCS to refinance your home mortgage, get cash out, or get pre-approved to buy. MCS in Wetumpka, just a phone call away. NMLS 232876. Buckle up, front seat and back seat. The law. For Montgomery Skywatch traffic, this is Major Delay.
For all your collision repairs, Chico's knows. Located on Atlanta Highway just minutes from the Eastern Bypass. Call Chico's Auto Pros today at 239-9510. Chico's knows.
Hey folks, this is Major Delay. Not too long ago, I was diagnosed with
Hello.
type 2 diabetes. Now, few things are as important as
Hello.
my teeth. First order
Hello.
of business, have your feet checked by a podiatrist. Without hesitation, I told my doctor I'm going to Dr. Brian Kelly with Greenville Foot Care. I went to his clinic on Winton Blunt behind Baptist East. The staff was friendly and professional. I was in and out in less than 30 minutes. And in that short span of time, with a few simple observations, Dr. Kelly shed light on two major issues I had had with my feet and ankles all my life. I was amazed. Not only was the checkup quick and easy, I felt comfortable and informed. He even recommended certain running shoes that better fit the structure of my feet. And your insurance even pays for annual visits to a podiatrist to better your health. No referral necessary for most insurance. Hey, walk, crawl, limp, roll, any way you can get there, but see Dr. Brian Kelly at Greenville Foot Care. Call for an appointment at 334-265-7585 or check out greenvillefootcare.com.
No representation is made as to the quality of podiatric services to be performed or as to the expertise of podiatrists performing such services.
Paid for by government.com. Have you heard? A recent stash of 1879 $10 Gold Liberty coins has been found. These gorgeous 1879p gold coins are as bright and shiny as the day they were struck, and less than 30 of these gold coins are available. Coin experts are calling this gold find an incredible opportunity. Just call government.com at 1-800-222-0984. And you are guaranteed a mint condition 1879 $10 Gold Liberty struck at the iconic Philadelphia Mint. But with extremely limited availability, you must call now. These 1879 gold coins are still in uncirculated condition. That is 142 years of history you can hold in your hand. To learn more, call 1-800-222-0984. Call now and you'll receive a free American Coin Collector's Bonus Package of $40 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-222-0984 now to secure your 1879p Gold Liberty coins before they sell out. That's 1-800-222-0984.
If there's a sudden disaster and you can't get to the grocery store, or they're all out of food, what would you do? You wish you had emergency food to get you through the crisis. That's why we're here. We're MyPatriotSupply.com, America's leading source of emergency food. Our food lasts for up to 25 years, and millions of families trust us for their disaster survival. Will you join us? Unlike other food companies, we don't skimp on calories. Our meals give you more than 2,000 calories per day. Why? Because that's what you need to survive any challenging crisis. And right now, you can save $200 on our popular 3-month emergency food kit. Just go to MyPatriotSupply.com and place your order. We ship fast, 2 to 3 days max. And your food arrives discreetly, right to your door. So order today and save $200 at MyPatriotSupply.com. That's MyPatriotSupply.com.
He is the voice of the conservative millennials.
The president is going to have to stand fast.
The Ben Shapiro Show.
They're not going to be willing to keep the government shut down.
Tomorrow at 3 p.m. on News Radio 1440. Depend on it.
Yeah, I feel so blue.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Everyone concerned. Anyway, good morning, everybody. All right then. Yeah, I was waiting for a call from Elton Dean, but I actually think he did call, but I didn't. I wasn't on the air at that time. So if he's out there somewhere, call me back. I gave you the VIP number. 860-1440 is the number you want to give us a call. A lot of things happen. You hear what happened in Indianapolis. I don't mind. The only thing I want to hear about Indianapolis is that they brought back Peyton Manning. Working for FedEx, man. I tell you, whew, these guns and all. Okay, let me see who this is. Good morning. Who's this? Oh, Doug. I thought Doug. Yeah. Okay, wait. Probably want to call. Okay. Hey, let me ask you. Am I totally wrong when I say that the Montgomery County Commission has no authority whatsoever over the Montgomery County School Board?
Correct. In that we have a lot of responsibility, not a lot of authority.
Right.
Now we enacted back in 2004 the 1 cent sales tax that generates about $30 million. Of course, now Pike Road gets probably a little bit of that out of it, but that's the only, if you would say, authority that we would have would be that. But we're not involved in the day-to-day decisions that they make. They're a separate board. They run the school system, and we run the county, and we stay in our lane, and they stay in their lane, and so I try not to.
No, I got you. But does anything about this story, about this $150 million project, anything in that story that bothers you?
What $150 million project? You talking about the school?
Right, the Capitol. Yeah. Does anything in that story bother you?
I haven't seen that story. Where is that story?
Well, it's in the paper today, but Dr. Keefe said they were only given information just a little bit before the meeting.
About is they were going to hire a construction manager.
Right, Volker. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right.
Then in Hoare Construction out of Birmingham, Volker out of Birmingham, and then TCU out of Montgomery, and that was what the debate was over. On there was some. I was at the meeting. I stayed for a while. This thing takes forever. I was there like 2.5 hours, and I had enough. But
yeah, me too.
I had a debate basically over should they use a local company if they could.
And what's your thought? What's your thought on that?
But now, if Volker presented something that made them distinguished, and they brought value that say the local couldn't bring, then I understand it. Now on the Whitewater project, we had two proposals, one from Brassfield and Quarry, and one from a local company here, and we chose the local company just because they would be closer. They'd be, they take pride. They had done Biscuit Stadium. They live here. They work here. The family's here. But they both were good companies. So we couldn't go wrong with either one of them, but we did choose the local one. But that's up to the school board, and I understand they did a lot of research and made a recommendation. But now it's up to the school board to see if they want to take that recommendation.
Although it did seem now, according to the article in the paper, that decision was made before the school board had even had a chance to chime in. But that's. Right.
Let them make a presentation, and then they may choose Volker, but they may choose another one. But I think the main thing is they wanted to see. A lot of times if you have 10 to 12 RFP responses,
right,
then you really need somebody to narrow them down to 1, 2, 3, or whatever you do. And but again, that is that I stay out of the school board. They stay out of mine. They don't try to run the county, and I don't try to run the school board. And we just have to trust that they're going to do the right thing. But so no.
It's good. Yeah. Right. All right. Well, listen. Next week, maybe I can get both of you guys on, you and Elton, and we'll talk about this a little bit more about the county. All right. Appreciate it. My time's up. Thank you for yours. We can all agree to disagree sometimes, but we cannot be disagreeable. All right. And whatever you do this weekend and for the rest of your life, try to be kind. We know how tough you are. We do. But kindness will work every time. Anyway, folks, anybody else? Anybody here? Don't forget, you can always text me while I'm not here, 294-2551, especially if you got some juicy stuff. Hey, and I will never tell where it came from. They can pull my fingernails out my finger. I will never, ever tell where the info came from. Okay, I'm just telling you. So if you got some good stuff, let me know. I'll investigate it first. All right. So, good morning to you. Hope this day finds you well.
WSFA 12 News Update on News Radio 1440.
Good morning. I'm Tanya Terry for WSFA 12 News. Police in Indianapolis say 8 people were shot and killed in a shooting late Thursday at a FedEx facility. Police spokesperson also says at least 4 people were hospitalized.